Warning, it is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions and the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Pop-In that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You've been warned, so if you decide to listen, then don't complain like a fucker.
She's sitting on a bench, and a girl walks by her, and she says something, and the girls walk by, says something, and then she chases her down from behind, sucker punches her in the back of the head, and tackles her into Philadelphia Avenue.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Lasmeeshma, Liam Reese, Schwap Game, Steve Cabot, the bad boy Bern Podcasy, and Captain Jerkbeard himself, Tom Lavelle. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Lasmeeshma, how we doing, brother?
Feeling great. It's getting cool.
Yeah.
Liking it. Fall. Yeah. Football's in the air, dude.
Love it. Very nice. Schwap Game, how's life?
He was excited and decided to go Dagestani and straight shave off the top, so he goes just the joint, you know what I mean? Feeling like a fucking real wrestler now, yo.
Well, with that canvas, it's not hard to paint a masterpiece, my friend. The bad boy, Benoit Podcasy, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Kid finally started kindergarten, and
Hell yeah.
It's 2 blocks away, so now we walk to school every morning.
Oh.
Fucking rules.
Yep.
Awesome.
Love it. Very nice. Captain Jerkbeard, what's life like?
Life is good. Just had my fantasy football draft last night. Number 1 pick.
Jason Taylor.
I'm not a coward. I went Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, he switched it up.
Not a Caffrey.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Speaking of Christian McCaffrey, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Would you share it? Would you share it? Would you share it? Working Perspectives.
All right, Tom, hit us with a rundown.
On tonight's show, the boys will be discussing the X Games, skiing versus snowboarding, lying to your dentist, and gypsies.
All right, very cool. All right, Tom, get us into the first subject. Go ahead.
All right, so on this week's episode, if you haven't checked it out, please do. We had Dental Bill Lynne, a very interesting fella, and he had several topics to cover. As I said before, it seems like every week the episodes keep getting better and better. Mm-hmm. Please tune in. Please listen. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Bill was discussing how he was a BMX bike rider when he was younger, and he used to race on the BMX. So when I was thinking about that, I thought to myself, man, I always liked that stuff, like the BMX, the X Games, all of those things. And my question to you is, guys, what is the best X Games sport? And is there a movie or TV show, scene, or whole movie that is best with X Games sports in it? What is the best X Games sports movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it had something to do with X Games. So first, what's the best X Games sport, and what's a movie or TV show that has X Games sports in it that is the best? I'm gonna go with Liam first.
So my favorite X Games sport back in the day was, remember the luge when they would like lay on their backs and go down the hill and shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know if you guys remember, there was like a PlayStation game where you could pick if you were the luge or the mountain bike or the, you know what I mean? Like you could pick skates or whatever, or a skateboard.
Yeah.
I remember like just picking the luge every time because it was so fucking cool.
And you went down that hill in San Francisco, right? Isn't that like what the gimmick was? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that game was fucking awesome.
Dude, street luge is nuts. The luge in general is like even the gimmick they do in the Winter Olympics. You know what I mean?
You got no control, dog. You're just hanging the fuck on for dear life.
You're out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. Yeah.
And the people who lose, like their luge shakes for like half a second, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna cost me."
Oh! Like, Jesus Christ!
They're just like,
need half a second to get his bearings, and like,
forgot about the shake.
It's gonna be right for it. Yeah.
And then, as far as a movie, I'll probably end up taking somebody's answer. But do you remember Airborne with?
It's everyone's answer. Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone, baby.
I didn't know what the name of the movie is, so I wrote "Stupid Rollerblade Movie." That was the one I was gonna. I couldn't remember the name.
That's 100% it, though. That is
I knew someone was going to go with that, so I've got a backup.
Seth Green, Jack Black, right?
I had 2 notes for this topic: Airborne and Travis Pastrana versus Shaun White. Those are the only. I was like, between those 2, I'll be fine. Goddamn, Liam.
And then remember they would go off the jump and it would be like, bam!
The last one, the dude, like, didn't he jump off the parking garage like 2 stories? And like, come on, cuz.
He landed in the back of like a lawn trailer, you know what I mean? A lawnmower trailer. It was and Snake, I remember him. He finished first. It was great. Dude, the Devil's Backbone. I saw a guy walk down that, and he was just, dude. Seth Green, shout out, fan of the show, listen to the show. I met
great
Seth
early
Green.
Jack Black too.
Great
early Jack Black though.
Bern, weren't you when me and Bern worked at Vinny T's? Seth Green, he's a Philly guy. Shout out. Yeah. But he used to come into Vinny T's and get takeout. Yeah.
We have met him. He's very small man.
Yeah,
I remember tiny little guy.
I was like, "Hey, Chris." I tried to talk because he does the voice of Chris on Family Guy, and there's always that creepy old guy's like, "Hi, Chris." Yeah, thought that was good.
Well, Airborne.
Yeah,
debuted in 1993.
Off the board.
Off the board.
Airborne off.
By the way, the dude who played the cool kid in Airborne, did we ever see him again?
I'm sure
Matt might know who it is.
Yeah, does it say who the lead role was? What's the name of this fucking clown?
He probably did a couple of Bugle Boy commercials or something.
Dane McDermott.
Or started doing drugs because his parents stole his money and he was a child star fucking actor.
I don't know. He might have been one of those dudes who was like 25 but playing 16.
He was in Astro Zombies.
Oh, okay. So Airborne launched everybody else's. So
except for his.
You're that kid.
He's the guy.
He did drugs.
Sexy lead in this movie who's the cool kid from California who moves to the Midwest and teaches everyone about rollerblading and then wins. And then all of a sudden, like Seth Green's worth $1 billion. Jack Black does whatever he wants. And he's just like,
Mitchell the Goose Goosen was his character name, right? And wasn't it Cincinnati? Is that the coolest Cincinnati's ever looked? Was that movie? Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
Those white helmets came out a few months ago.
Yeah. How about it? All right, Tom. Next, keep it moving.
X Games, an annual and extreme sports event. The inaugural X Games were held during the summer of 1995. Woo. Steve, what's the best X Games sport? And give us a movie with some extreme sports in it that you liked.
First off, before I go with any of the sports, this is just a side note. So, for you to, I know you said San Fran, but originally for like the first 5 years was in Philadelphia, right? So I went down there for a bunch of the X Games when they had them in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
The aquatic sports were in the fucking Schuylkill, which I always found bizarre. You're bringing these athletes best from all around the world to go in the Schuylkill? They're probably like, what the fuck you guys? You know, you see like a goddamn foreigner. Crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah, they're like hopping over dead bodies.
It is
Dog,
X Games.
The most
I eliminated. How many? You could probably look it up, Tom. I forget how they did it for a while though in Philly. Eliminated all the Schuylkill stuff, right? I just don't even want to talk about that. But for me, I actually went down and attended a couple of these. I think like 3 years in a row. Yeah. By far, the craziest thing I've ever seen in real life up front is the big air trick, right? One big ramp.
Big air.
These fucking psychos indoors launch
nuts.
off this enormous. First off, they start on a ramp that's like 70 feet high, and then they go off this 30-foot ramp and the shit that on dirt bikes that go straight the fuck up. You ever see the guys that do? So when I say big air, it's the it's like the jumping contest. The jumping contest.
Is it like
where they go up
like
over the high,
jump,
and then they go to like a half pipe?
That's really high?
they go to the same thing. Not that one. That's the big air, but the one with the dirt bikes where they go up in the same. There's a pole vault where they go up over that cone. It's literally straight up like 40 feet. They barely move forward and somehow land down perfectly. It's the wildest thing. I love dirt bikes. I have no idea how no one dies on this and how everyone doesn't crash because they come flying down on a fucking giant dirt bike, which weighs, by the way, 250 pounds.
God.
Whip up that ramp and go 30 feet in the air and go over just a foot from where they took off is where they land on that ramp. Go over the little peg at the top and come back down just like fucking pole vaulting and see who gets the highest thing.
It is
Craziest
really
thing I've ever seen.
cool how they go like they fly down, right? And
It's also with the sound.
and it goes, and then when you get to the top, it's like slow motion.
Oh,
Yeah.
quiet
that
and
reversal and
Too
come
quiet.
down.
because they
Just clear the bar.
And like
they
Bern
take-
was saying,
they
those
take
are
their hand off the
two-stroke motors.
gas, right? It's quiet, so they take their hand off the gas when they get up there, just to do the momentum thing. So there's this crazy moment of just like, is this really happening? Is this real? Is this
Dude,
gonna
whenever you're jumping
What-
these bikes, they're two-stroke. So a two-stroke as opposed to a four-stroke is so powerful. So
What-
these little
what
two, and you can tell the difference of the sound, right? So when you hear a little dirt bike or you ever see a guy on a four-wheeler and it's going ring, 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 and it just sounds like it's going to explode and it sounds like the fastest thing you've ever heard, loud as fuck. That's a two-stroke, right? The four-strokes are more quiet, but don't produce that
We're all
immediate power.
two-strokes.
So when you hear this two-stroke loud as shit in a stadium on that bike, it just the whole thing of it. All you smell is gas in the air. It's a fucking, it's in.
Yeah, I'll tell you too. Nitro Circus really blew that up. Go ahead, Bern.
Well, my thing was always just like the most fascinating stuff about that, and it will apply to my later answer is like, I mean, I guess there's foam pits around, but like, I used to play basketball. I'd go out in my backyard, practice free throws. Like, how do you fucking practice this? Where you're like, okay, here's what I do.
You
I
break
go 80
legs.
feet into the air and try to spin
without
around
dying.
7 times without dying and land perfectly a foot away from where I took off. And you're like, that's how, I mean, at golf, you get a little putting green at your home. And just in your basement, like, I'm getting better at putting. Like, that's a sport that demands, okay, so even your practice is absolutely life-threatening and potentially terminal.
And you
no
know
matter
it.
what.
And you know it.
Yeah,
You know
I
it.
know going in, okay, I'm breaking bones.
yeah.
Every time I try this,
This
I could
is
probably
going
die.
to happen.
Yeah, I remember. I was watching an interview with Jerry Seinfeld, and he talked about like the youth of today. And he had stated, he was like, the kids skateboarding and doing that. He's like, if you're getting good at that, then you had to go through some shit. You know what I mean? So he's like, those kind of kids that are willing to do that and sacrifice and go through the pain. That's a little, you're a little tougher. I mean, like, he's like, I'm not too upset about the future coming, but I did want to say this. So when Steve was talking about the water sports, and Tom, you can look this up. #1 wakeboarding world champion named Dean Lavelle.
Oh,
No relation. But I saw it on the X Games one time,
You're not
wakeboarding world
positive about your
champion,
relation.
and I told
He
every
might be
motherfucker that that's my cousin Dean, and I saw him practicing in Lake Scranton last summer. And
Good old Beanie Boy.
Dean, my Uncle Marty's kid, Dean.
Good
Yeah, he's
old
great at the
Dino.
wakeboard.
You show up to his next big event, you see him walking up, you're like, dang!
Yeah.
Dino.
Yeah.
Showing him your license.
And then also, do you guys remember it was like it was probably like 8 years ago now, but that area, the trick Tom was talking about where they're on the skateboard, they go down the big ramp to the huge half pipe and go up, and the kid lost his board and his fucking was like kicking his feet,
Fell straight down
and
into
his
the
shoes flew off.
Yeah,
Oh.
shoes flew. Yeah.
Forget like I remember when we had Mike Johnson on the show, he did like the dirt bike and stuff, and I remember he had a saying, he's like, your dad, his dad told me, he's like, you might like it now, but one day we're gonna find out if you really love it. And that's you know what I mean. And that's and that's kind of what was Tom.
Did
was
he
talking
break
about.
like both ankles and a collarbone in the same accident?
No, he got back up. He went later that night.
Oh, you're
the guy that lost his shoes went again.
Yeah,
no, not
an
him.
hour later.
You're talking about Mike Johnson.
Oh, Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Oh, he broke like
He
everything.
broke everything.
Yeah.
But he had one that was like, I don't know, just both my ankles, my tibia, one of my femurs, my collarbone, half a shoulder, like.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
big time. He got obliterated. Yeah,
took him out of the game for like 7 months because he was like 17. He's like, so then once I got the full body cast off, then I went out the next day and
tried it again.
But dude, the guys Tom's talking about, was he Australian? I think Tom, or something along those lines. But
I
dude,
don't know what he was, but he was a nut, and that was I saw it live, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
yeah,
And then for him to get back up and do it again, I was
That's
like, "Oh my
some
god, this
fucking
guy
balls."
should be a professional wrestler."
yeah. And then okay, Bern, what about you? What do you got? Sport movie?
Hold on, I don't get a fucking movie.
Oh, what's your
Oh.
movie, Steve?
Y'all just gonna fucking skip me?
Right?
Yo, Matt.
Okay.
Airborne.
Respect, Steve.
Penalty.
What is there another movie besides Airborne?
No. So again, all I'm thinking is shit that kind of reminds me of. So it's a stretch, but I'm letting out a zinger here, right? For the kids that don't know this one, if you're under probably 35, you've definitely never seen it. I actually put it. I got an athlete of a week thing one time and put it in as an answer. They asked me my favorite movie that they put in the paper before the internet. And I said, kids, because I remember them beating the bull with the skateboard.
Oh
Fucking
my
him up in the
god!
And of course, this fucking dipshit reporter didn't know what kids was. Like, he was like, okay, sounds fine. People that saw it were like,
The worst
oh,
movie
my, you
ever.
did not say. Yeah.
The first NC-17 movie ever released in the United
It's
States.
Casper. It's Casper. Shh.
Yeah,
This shit is wild, yo. That movie.
Kids.
yeah. That's one
He
of
beat
those
a dude with a
ones
skateboard, and they were like skateboarders, I guess. I don't know if they were doing tricks and shit, but I remember skateboards in it.
They were
Yeah.
extreme.
Best
They
I
were
can do
certainly
after.
extreme.
Yeah.
Lots of
It-
All right.
it fit the X.
And everyone got AIDS.
Everyone
AIDS,
got
but
AIDS
whatever.
pretty much.
Very
from all
nice.
this.
So
Spoiler
Steve
alert.
said they used the old two-stroke for the big air competition. Funny
That's
enough, two-stroke was Matt Lavelle's nickname in high school.
Ah,
It's still two-stroke. I don't know.
Burn.
God bless you.
Well, it's not gonna
Someday
get
he'll
done
be
yet.
a four-stroke.
Yeah.
Burn. Best X game event, and give us a movie with some extreme sports.
All right. I don't have the movie, but I will say I'm going to change that to a video game.
I was thinking the
Um,
same thing.
SSX Tricky.
Oh,
One of
great.
the most incredible video games of all time.
Great.
And
That was
I
the
s-
snowboarding gimmick, right?
Yep. And
Yeah,
I
great
say
movie. Great game.
it's one of those games where, like, if I picked it up today, like, there's not many of them, but if I picked it up today, I bet I can get a silver medal in the first race because me and my brothers just beat the balls out of
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
And so snowboarding has always been a cool, like, I've skied in, like, I've skied a dozen times, maybe, right? I got a little brother who's a big skier. I've never put a snowboard on. I couldn't roller skate. I wasn't great at skateboarding. Like, for me, I've never put ice skates on. For me, things on the bottom of my feet, they just don't work. And I'm generally against them.
Yeah.
But by the power of SSX Tricky, I am forever. And then, of course, we came up at a time with Shaun White,
Yeah.
so I was interested in the sport, and then we got to watch a dude who just
He's the greatest of all
Dominated.
time. He is the greatest of all time.
he's the reason why it's an Olympic event, because
Yeah.
now it's an Olympic event, but back in the day, the only time it
Just-
was ever on TV was the X Games. Like, if
And
you
him.
want to see guys doing this stuff,
He did well in he transitioned to skateboarding too.
he
and
was
did
no,
well,
he
right?
started as a skateboarder, right? Tony Hawk found him when he was like 9 years old, doing shit on ramps that was stupid, and then he was like, after skateboarding, he was like, I can snowboard too. I mean, he might end up driving like one of those little rally cars, in 5 years. But
Yeah.
but anyway, loved the sport, and then was lucky enough to be watching it when one of the greatest who's ever to do it was
Yeah,
dominant.
nice.
So the snowboarding half pipe is just if I'm walking by and it's on, I'm gonna hang out for the next 15 minutes, even though I've never strapped a snowboard to my feet.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
right.
Tony Hawk, nicknamed the Birdman, had one of the most popular video games of the 2000s and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Best game.
Matt, what's the best X game? And give me a movie.
So I would say, they call them fruit booters, but I don't know, man. I just remember I'm thinking of another video game, Wave Runner, with the jet skis.
Oh, one of
That
my
was
favorites.
Such a
cuz.
classic.
Oh, I haven't heard
Great.
that forever.
Great game. And then so like the jet skis was cool when you got to see that, but you
Through
didn't
the
really
rings, the jumps and shit. That joint was sick. You get
Yeah.
nasty ones.
Oh yeah, that was a great
Romeo
game.
had that.
Yeah, we had it too. But I don't know. Favorite X game, man, it is tough. I don't know. There is something I remember seeing, like when Tony Hawk hit that 900 for the first time. Like that was fucking cool.
Crazy.
I don't know
crazy.
much about skateboarding, but I remember
Me
being
neither.
like, I'm fucking invested in this. Like
Yep.
this is legit. And then Tony Hawk Pro Skater, best go. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't brag about many video games except for Mario Kart, which I'm incredible at, and obviously the best in the world. But I would say Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I can throw down in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I'll tell you that right now, dude. I mean, like I've put like 10,000 hours in on that game.
Oh,
for sure.
Good old two-stroke.
Yeah, and then I guess the movie. The only other, I mean, does Mighty Ducks 2 count because they're in rollerblades?
Okay.
I was gonna say that or Brink. I don't know if we remember Brink.
Not me.
Yeah,
Brink,
it was made.
Yeah,
it was made for
Spike
Disney
in that movie.
It was a Disney
Jesus
TV
Christ.
movie.
Wasn't Spike from,
grown up Spike was in that
Grown-up
movie.
Spike.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Little Giants.
Yeah, so that's it. Tom, what about you?
Grown up Spike. How weird was that guy? Because that guy
he was a total
he was a
long
weird
brown
he was a
hair.
weird like 15-year-old. Although I was always
He was probably
in
like
retrospect
30.
like was he like 26 in that movie? He was little but super jacked.
Yeah, we should get his real age in that movie.
He was like he was like a noodle. Like he like when he was Spike, he was like this jacked fucking 12-year-old.
He's still a noodle.
Right. Well, I mean, like,
noodle.
but he had like a cool dad, you know, and he was just jacked.
Cool
He had
dad.
a cool dad.
Go, baby, go!
Made him carry refrigerators.
Go, baby, go!
He had a
Yeah.
cool dad. He was jacked, and he was really good at football. And he still ended up being a noodle. That's the greatest noodle of all time. You had every advantage as a 13-year-old. How did you blow that?
How did you fuck up?
How did you fuck that up? You had
Unbelievable.
right there.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds like a future segment. Biggest noodle of all time.
Yeah.
Biggest all right, so I'm gonna say we talked about it earlier. I don't know if it is a big air event, but the guys on the skateboards going down the ramp
and the huge
clearing the open gap up the half pipe,
doing wild shit.
That is probably
insane.
Like,
Just
I will watch that because it's just like
agree.
These people are absolutely insane.
Nuts.
You're nuts.
Not have your heart in your throat when you're watching that. You're like, I don't even know who this dude is, but man, I hope he lives through this.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
I'll
Evil
feel really
Knievel,
bad.
like every one of them, and they just go, and it's like.
And how quickly did it progress? Like when I saw the X Games in the beginning, like you said, in a couple of years, they went from doing a 900 to people are doing fucking 1440s, and guys are doing 2 backflips on dirt bikes and shit. I'm like, what is happening?
Motherfuckers were doing backflips on snowmobiles a couple of
now
years
they
ago.
do doubles.
Right. 400.
They do doubles.
They do
doubles on them now.
Snowmobiles, like
insane.
Yeah,
they're not built for that.
It went 0 to 100 immediately. X Games was like, if you want some money, you're gonna have to put your life on the line. Either you die or you get paid. So,
but it's just the growth of X Games,
the competition.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's just you have
psychos.
to. But that's the thing. It's like that just shows like how psycho they are. They just keep raising the level and being crazy.
Insane.
Listen, I feel like we're lucky. Like we don't, our ages don't range that much, but I feel like we're lucky because we came up in the X Games like era.
Yeah.
A couple of years from now, kids will just be watching everybody do this on YouTube. But we had like a week where it was like, all right, the X Games are on ESPN. This whole week,
starting tomorrow.
Like, whatever's on, like, I'm turning this. Yeah, I'm turning this channel on when I get home from school, and it's just gonna stay on until I go to bed because I don't know what I'm gonna see.
Remember,
isn't that luck too? I'm sorry, Matt, but isn't that luck? Like Tony Hawk is actually very lucky that he was the guy at that moment. He
admits that when he talks about it all the time with the game.
Basketball, North Carolina, they talk about it too. Just when the TV games are really starting to get popular, they started to be national champions. So then they started getting all the games.
Yeah,
dude,
they weren't a powerhouse before that.
No. Shout out Matt Hoffman, the BMX.
Matt Hoffman, Sugar Baby. Oh, that's a great bike.
Shout out Travis Pastrana, who was the guy who started on
Travis Pastrana
on wheels and ended up in cars and was winning like the rally stuff. Like,
who's the dude that hosts the challenges? TJ something, right?
Oh yeah, he was on it too. And you know what's something else that we kind of got from X Games would be the Jackass series too. That's a show like that basically stemmed from X Games breakdowns and people like falling.
Yeah, because Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn and all them guys. Yeah.
And then one more shout out on a movie with X Games, and I guess it's not really thought about X Games, but one that crossed my mind, E.T. They have the alien. They got him locked up. All the boys come out with their bikes. They take
That
off.
jump was
the
vicious.
They do the jump.
That jump was
going through the
vicious.
moon.
The best scene in that movie is
The
when he
original.
releases the frogs in the school.
Yeah.
And he does
Yeah.
the Marine O'Hara John Wayne
Grabs
gimmick
that
from the
bit
choir.
and just
Yeah.
The
sucks it
best,
down.
dude. The
Yeah,
best.
hell
I was
yeah.
like, that's fucking
Winds
cin-
blowing.
That's fucking cinema.
Yeah. Got him.
So
Got
Oh,
him.
great soundtrack too. If you're into
Oh.
instrumental, it is
Agreed.
underrated
yeah.
soundtrack.
Is that
So
your
either
boy,
way-
Johnny Williams?
Yes, it is John Williams. All right. So as we were saying on this week's episode, dental Bill Lynne, he was talking about how he's a dental hygienist and he'll be at work and people will show up and they'll ask him, okay, have you been brushing regularly?
Dental Bill's a dentist?
Dental
He's a
hygienist.
dental
Oh,
hygienist.
all right. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I get it now. I get it.
Thanks for listening to the show, Steve.
I get it.
So dental Bill, the dental hygienist, people show up to his job and he says, have you been brushing, flossing regularly? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I have, doc. Open up. They're complete liars. And he can tell. I can tell that you do not floss like you say you're flossing.
Mhm.
And it got me thinking, guys, what's a profession or somewhere that you go where the person working there asks you a question and you feel compelled to lie? Like when a dentist asks you, have you been flossing regular? And you know you haven't. You say, yeah, because I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
you think you're going to get in trouble or you know you should be doing it. What's a profession that you go to that you lie to the person there? One, and what is a lie people will tell you while you're working? A customer will tell you while you're working. I'm going to kick this one to Matt to start. Matt, tell me a profession you lie to and tell me what lie your customers tell to you.
So for me, one of the professions that I've lied to the most would be strippers. And I've told them that I love them. I've told
Yep.
them that I've got a lot of money.
Wow,
I've told
great
them-
answer.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
I honestly I've told them anything they wanted to hear.
They're lying
Yeah.
to you too, bub.
For me,
So-
girls in general, but I hear yes.
Yeah.
That's not one that crossed my mind, strippers, but yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
We've all
Matt,
lied
what's the
to
biggest lie you ever told a stripper? That you're not
There's-
two-stroke, Matt?
I love it.
yeah. I told her that I was 5-stroke, Matt, and she was like, "What
Yeah.
are you, a world record holder?"
Whoa. What am I ugly? You think I'm ugly?
I'm
Yeah.
6 feet. I'm 6 feet tall.
I'm 5'11", you fucking son of a
And a quarter.
bitch.
All right, Matt. What's a lie that a customer will say to you at your job?
My office job's a little fucking stupid, so we're not going to go into it because I'd have to go into what it is, and it's
Yeah,
just
hit bartending. What
yeah.
was it? Dumb
Well,
lie
that's
hit
what I'm
you
gonna
with?
say. I was gonna
What's
do
up?
bartending, and the number one lie is like that they haven't
drunk.
drank. Yeah, like I'm not. Come on, man. Dude, come on, give me another. One more. I'm fine, dude. I can
What's up?
drive. I can drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
full of
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
That or like,
number-
no, dude, I didn't do drugs. I don't have any drugs. What drugs? I don't do drugs. Come on, man. Drugs are stupid, dude. Not me. What are you doing? What crazy? Drugs?
You got
me?
tissue?
Yeah.
I'm
what-
insulted. I'm insulted. That's
Yeah.
why would you say that? Why would
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? I don't even.
You accusing me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bern, what's a
So-
lie you tell to some place that you're going to shop, and what's a lie that is told to you at your job?
So now I'm running a restaurant, and so the biggest lie I tell is for all of the reps who come in who want to give me free beer and free liquor to entice me to entertain their product is that, we're gonna start working on a new cocktail menu soon, and just keep bringing that free stuff. And when we do,
You're
I'll
our
give you
guy.
a shout. I'll give you a shout.
Bro,
The old
that's,
cocktail lie.
that's so
Because-
good.
Because I'm running this restaurant, but I'm part of it's part of this restaurant group that owns like 4 different restaurants, right? So like essentially it's not corporate. It's like, well, it is corporate, but it's really small. It's like 4 different
Yeah.
places within
Yeah.
like 15 or 8 miles of where, all each other.
Yeah.
They're all around York and
Yeah.
Central PA.
You've been
Um,
running
So
York.
I don't, even though I'm helping run this place, everything's got to go up the channel. So I don't
Yeah.
really have like I can bring it to them, but I can't make the decision. But
no.
I'm never gonna let them know that because I
No.
want a free 6-pack of Corona's weird seltzers in every flavor.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna ever buy them or run them, but yeah, I'll
Bar
take 'em home.
swag. Bar swag is pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, and
Like, when
and
you get
Maddie,
good bar swag-
post-COVID, bar swag got real like
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, they
yeah,
cut
they're-
it. They're cutting it.
they,
They're-
they I mean they give so much less away
Mm.
than they
What?
used to. But
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
hoodies, shirts, hats, bottle
They'll print-
openers, lanyards,
They'll
cups.
they'll print you some
All
table tents,
shit.
man. But other than that, they're not really
Oh,
interested in
dude. You know who had such great bar swag? Yingling had the best bar. They had these hoodies that were like performance hoodie. Oh,
Dog,
my
I seen
God.
the guys next door because obviously they've been there like 30 years. Like we have pizza time. I seen the owners with Corona beach cruisers, like 6 surfboards. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, can I get that?
Yeah.
They're like, and I didn't know this, right? So we also had a customer that owned a Ryan's Beverage in North Wales. He owned the beer distributor, right? So they
Okay.
bring their cars here, and I was like, yo, get me some dope shit. Like, get me a bike. And he was like, don't ask me. Like, we get that at bargain price from them. Like, they charge bars more. Bars are who get the real shit. They're like, they'll give us some gay signs here and there we can slap in the window, but
Sure.
other than that, like, we ain't getting the cool shit. You got to go to the bar guy.
Oh, dude,
like,
they
oh,
used to
wow.
come with a trash bag
Maddie,
full
it's
of fucking swag.
It's like
That's wild.
15% of what it used to be. You know,
Damn.
5-6 years ago. Like they're
That's
just
some
not.
bullshit.
All
They're
right,
not
Bern,
giving anything
what's
like-
a lie that is told to you at your job?
I was thinking about this earlier because there's a couple that are like pretty legit. I'm really working in a restaurant, right? So you have all that funky like kitchen, like back of the house between front of the house stuff.
Server telling you she's not on drugs.
Yeah.
no, we always-
The bartender saying that she didn't bang the biggest
Yeah.
douchebag cook.
At the bar, yeah.
Yo, that is I'm from the movie Waiting. That is the number one like thing
Yeah.
that is always happens.
So
Yeah.
the restaurant I work at has 3 different bars. One of them is a cigar bar.
Jesus,
Cigar
Christ.
bar. It's more of like a Winston Slim bar.
Yeah.
Especially on the first and
Jesus
15th of the
Christ.
month. But our capacity at this restaurant is 398 people. So it's a huge joint.
Oof.
And the biggest lie I get is probably just like I don't know who these people are. You're like, well, you came in with them and they tackled that girl and then there was a huge fight and then everyone got thrown out.
I'm not with them.
I don't know who they are. You're like,
Yeah.
"Well, but you come in with them every night. Nah,
Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
They're
I
calling
just-
your name right now. You sure you don't? Yeah.
Mike, you
I-
leaving with us? I'm like, what?
Here's a
I
funny
don't
story.
know.
Here's a lie. Here's another lie I have to tell. Right. So this is a really quick funny story. This girl calls me last week and says, "Hey, I need you to look at your tape because one of your bouncers stomped on my face." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's a problem. That's problematic." Friday night, about what time? That sounds terrible, right? And then
Before I look at
reviewed
the video, send me a picture because if your face isn't black and blue with like if he
I mean,
stomped on it,
If your face just looks like it was stomped on before this, then we know
I
it's
do need your before and after.
Ew.
Yeah.
Right. So she's like, and I'm like, okay, well, that sounds terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna go. What time was it? I'll go look at the video. Right. We have 35 video cameras. We have this
Oh,
from a
fuck
bunch of
yeah.
angles. Right. The girl who calls me is literally she's sitting on a bench, and a girl walks by her, and she says something, and the girls walk by, says something, and then she chases her down from behind, sucker punches her in the back of the head, and tackles her into Philadelphia Avenue.
Hell
In which
yeah.
case the bouncers then come over and like separate them. And so I was trying to find like a professional way to tell her, like, hey, she was like, I need this tape for my lawsuit. And I was trying to find a professional way to tell her, like, hey, I saw the tape.
Wait, so the broad who got molly-whopped is asking for the tape?
No.
The one doing the whopping.
Molly whopping.
Oh,
I
I was
so
like, yeah, so I saw the tape. How do I say this to you? All it shows is you assaulting someone like 3 times. Like she tackles her from behind, she punches her, then they're on the ground, then she hits her, then it's battery. They're behind a telephone pole, and then the bouncers come over and break everybody up. So I was like, lady,
Yeah.
listen, you
don't want this tape.
you don't want anybody to see this tape. In
Give
fact,
me
if-
$2
if the
grand
girl
right
you
now, bitch.
punched-
Give me $2 grand
Yeah.
right now before I go to Fox News, bitch. Give me
if the
$2
girl
grand.
you punched asks
Called
for this
extortion.
tape, you're in a lot of trouble. You should
Yeah.
want this to be destroyed forever. Like,
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
was like, does she think we only have one tape? Like maybe she thought she was like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna get that tape. And then once I get my
Blackmailing
hands on that
twice.
tape, like, no,
Yeah.
lady, it's all digital. We put it on a thumb drive for you. But I think once I watched it, I was like, oh my, you're the assaulter. You started it. You everything's on you.
Jesus.
All it shows is you committing crimes, like
Wow.
3 or 4 within like.
You have
20
to hand
seconds.
her a VHS and be like, here's
Yeah.
the tape.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. She thinks
Yeah.
it's like
Loser.
menace to society. They just have to go take the tape
Yeah,
from the
that's what I
back.
mean. You have to get one tape, and then you're off the hook.
Here you go,
Oh,
man.
that's
Thank
too
God I got
funny.
hands
Use
on
this tape. It's the only one we have.
Yeah, play it
Nice.
on the broadcast, yo. Let's get that shit on the
Steve.
podcast.
Steve,
Yeah.
what's a business or a place that you go to that you tell a lie to the person working there, and what's the biggest lie told to you at your job?
Well, immediately, by far, the lie I tell the most is because I'm a giant pussy when it comes to like anything that has to do with medical work. The doctor. Every time I go to the doctor, he's like,
Yeah.
when was the last time you had your blood checked? I was like, yesterday, dude. Yesterday.
Yeah.
He's like, can I see your arms? I'm like, nah, they went through like my back.
Yeah.
Please don't stick me
You're
with
like,
more
I
shit,
just had
right?
this great colonoscopy last week.
How
It
many
was
beers
last
do you
time-
drink a week?
The greatest lie
When was the
that
last
anyone's
time
ever
you
told.
were? Yeah, all the time. When was the last time someone touched your balls? I'm like, yesterday, man. I swear, I'm a gay dude. Everything's
Yeah.
good. Everything's fine. I'm like, trust me, you'd be the first person that I called if there was a problem down there.
Sure,
We're okay,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Lie
We're
to the
okay,
doctor.
right? But yeah, so the doctor, by far.
When there's 4 categories on the doctor sheet about how many drinks you have a week, and the third one is like
Dog, I
7
learned
to
that real
8,
quick.
and you're like, that's
So-
the second to the top. Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
One.
And
Socially,
tough.
I'm a social drinker.
All right, Steve, what's the biggest lie told to you?
Oh man, I'm excited.
this one's always my favorite. This one is I have a wall of fame for this one. It's a very minor thing, but I have a wall of fame for it, right? I sent it to Liam's seen a bunch of them. I sent it to like our North Wales chats all the time. Whenever this happens, the person comes in and says, I think I have a flat tire. I say, no problem. Why would you think this? They're like, I think I'm good with cars. Like I just feel like I know. And I'm like, okay.
How flat is it?
I go outside and there's no center of it anymore. So it's basically a rim with like a spiky haircut from like a fucking, I don't know, an Antifa fruitcake. It's got like the spiky hair thing that sticks up out the sides, and there's
that old
the whole
lady
center's
haircut
gone.
where it's bangs in the front, but it's spiky in the back.
So
So
now
they
here's
just
the
been
problem.
running on like on the like the rubber's like worn out.
There's sparks flying at this point. What I see, there was clearly sparks flying. Right? Hold on.
Oh.
Next. Hold on. Ready for this?
They must
Here's
really know cars.
Here's the best line.
Yeah.
Here's the one that goes in down in infamy. They come back in and go, you think you can plug it?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I have to get
Yeah.
it replaced, or can we just plug the tire?
Plug
Let me
what?
sew it
Cuz?
back
You want me,
together.
Yeah, it's
you
not
think
there
I'm Gable? You want me to
anymore,
plug
man.
you, dog? Like,
Yeah.
It's a
there's-
memory.
I
It's a
don't
memory.
know where it plugs. Like there's no where we talk. What the fuck is happening? I'm like, is it
Wow.
nobody? Where's the camera at? Where's my buddies laughing? How is this happening?
Can
Are
I
you a
ask?
serious human?
Can I ask what's the male to female ratio on that? Would you say more female or male?
Not by much, but yes. That's how fucking
More female. You're saying?
yes,
But it's
but
not
not by much.
But it's not a large
Not-
margin.
yes.
Okay.
No.
I thought it would be
Okay.
bigger.
Plenty.
Yeah,
That
I
wouldn't
thought
even
it would be bigger.
I'm like, I don't even know where to start, but no, I can fix it. But then
You tell
so
them-
when this thing's like this, I got to try to push the bead, they call it, off the rim, right? And usually
Yeah.
in a tire, it like collapses with that big
Yeah.
machine that goes bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
When there's no
remember
center-
you talked about that on your episode.
When there's no center because you drove until sparks flew, like you were fucking, I don't know, Dukes of Hazzard running from the cops. I'm so confused at how
Love
it
the
got to
Dukes
this
of Hazzard.
point without the
Love the
fucking
Dukes of
watt. Like,
Hazzard.
come on, man, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now the machine doesn't push it in; it like folds, and it's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. And then the person's like, "How much to charge?" I'm like, "It's $1,000. If not, get the fuck off my lot. It's $1,000 because I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to bust my ass to fix this. You have no idea how much work."
Like
Go
in
spark your way home. Go
in-
spark
Jesus
your way
Christ.
home.
in
on your
that scenario, are you replacing like the whole wheel, like the whole
Depends
thing?
how far he went. So at that point, there's a control arm underneath with a ball joint that goes on top of a
yeah,
top control
and you
arm.
got the
Those can
gimmick
all
that
get
holds
bent.
the brake, right? Like,
the caliper, the rotor, all that shit.
oh
yes.
my god,
Man, you're doing all types of crazy damage at that point. When I say it, I'm
call
just like,
fucking like,
and I'm
like
like, this is how
Just
we
go on
have
the side
plenty
of the
work.
road. Get towed.
I have enough
Fuck.
work that I hate. I don't need this. Just drive off the lot. He's like, to where? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do it.
fucking
Just
figure it
I'll
out.
pay you.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'll rather sleep in the woods. Please drive away.
yeah.
Liam,
Fuck out of here.
what's a
Damn.
profession that you go to where you lie to the person working there? And what is a lie told to you from a customer at work?
So we haven't done it in a while because I got caught for it. But we used to go to this diner, and I would always say that my kid was a certain age because you would get like a discount or whatever. And like the waitress
13,
would come
she's
up,
under 5.
Yeah, the waitress would come up and be like, "How old's your kid?" And I would be like, "She's 3." And then she'd be like, "I'm 4." and then that's when it was all over. That's when it was all over. I was like, I just looked up at the waitress like, "Yeah, she's 4. We're done. We're done doing that to you."
Yeah.
We've been saying she's 3 for like 2 years already anyway. So
yeah. What man, remember the ground round? Didn't they used to have a gimmick where you pay your weight when you're under a certain age?
Yeah.
Damn. That was they knew what the hell they were doing.
good stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
Shout out
Liam, what's
ground
a
round.
lie that's told to you at work?
I'm 4.
Yeah.
So, but when I used to do more residential work, this would happen. But I'll still do it on the side for like friends and family. And the people you know better, like because they know
Fuck you the hardest.
they don't want to admit they did something really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be at somebody's house with like a 3-way switch pulled out, like a 3-way dimmer or something, and I'll be like, "Yo, like who was in here? You tied or neutral? Like up?" They're like, "Oh, I didn't touch it. It just stopped working." And I'm like, "Dude, you can fucking tell me that what you did. Actually, if you tell me what you did, I'll be done even faster, you know?
Yeah,
but if you pretend you don't even know what I'm talking about, then this is going to take me even longer."
Walk me through this, buddy.
Yeah. Help me help you. Yeah. Dude, that's fucking brutal. That's hilarious.
In all honesty, I absolutely would do that. I'd be like, "No, man, I didn't even try to do
I don't know who the
must be the guy
prior
the guy
tenant.
before it." Yeah.
What
nice.
a dick.
Tom,
guys, I don't care. Just tell me. We'll move on, you know?
Yeah.
Tom, what about you, Tom? What profession have you lied to, and what do they lie to you? Go.
All right. So, the one I was thinking originally was doctor, but 2 that crossed my mind were the police.
Good one.
Yeah.
Great one.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No, I haven't been drinking at all. I don't know what you're talking
What's
about.
the speed limit? 68,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that a limit? Yeah.
Drugs in my car?
Absolutely not.
And then another one is a trainer, like a physical trainer.
Oh.
You've been working out. How often do you run a week?
I run 5 miles a day.
I'm working out.
Steve, you've been smoking the weed? Nah, not fucking all. Not at all.
Not
me.
this guy. No
Axel
way.
hung up
Never.
2 minutes
Not one
later.
time.
Yeah.
So
And
then
Wouldn't even.
my job, there's a lot of lies that come to them, and it's
So
funny because
many.
it's almost like a who lies the most and who tells the biggest lies. Men lie the most, women tell the biggest lies. Am I
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
Shout
I
out
Some of
agree
the
with that,
like
100%.
some of the lies, the small lies that we get. Have you been drinking? You know, how old are you? I have to card people. They give me ID because they have to be a certain age to drink. Another one that's a little small one.
If
is when
she's
they
a 10, do
say-
you just not care? If it's just a 10, do
I
you
don't
just like,
care.
you're like,
I'm
she's so hot.
carding her.
She's
I'm
going to bring
carding her.
other
I don't care
dudes
how hot
in.
she is.
Dude,
But the
they're
guys
on
are
the
gonna flock
no,
and pay
dude. The
you.
liquor control. It ain't worth the liquor control because they are on the fucking prowl, brother.
But did they find you or did they find the bar?
They find the bar and they shut down the bar and they hit Tom with a fine. Tom gets charged. Like they're looking to fuck you. And they're looking
Plus,
to
what
send.
am I like? I don't give a shit that she's hot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You gotta be 21. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant like her would bring more guys that would make more money.
Yeah,
And there's hot
true.
chicks, obviously.
Steve,
It
more
ain't
dudes are
worth.
coming
Juice
in.
ain't worth the squeeze, baby.
I hear you.
But by the way, the people that LCB send in are pretty hot.
Hell
That's the
yeah.
whole deal.
Mhm.
Like
I will.
but they're
that's
trying to
entrapment
get
right
they're
now.
trying
They
to get
hire
you.
models.
They're trying to get you.
Entrap
Like,
these
they're
nuts.
trying
I'll
to
be
get you.
And trap these.
10
He'll be old
10
two-stroke Stevie.
All
Ten-
right, but so
ten-
like,
2-stroke
grand.
Stevie going.
Put
Hell
10 grand
yeah.
to the
All
10
right.
grand to the bar, 10 grand to the bartender.
tells-
If they get into an accident driving home, like then
Your
bar gets
life
shut
is
down.
over,
Like
and
it's
your
not,
life is
never
over.
worth it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead, Tom.
So as I was saying, the most lies. So how old you are? Have you been drinking? A common lie is when someone says they're going to throw a party. How many people they're going to bring? Oh, there's going to be 100 people here.
100.
It's always this, and it ends up being
Always.
32. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Right? So it's always less than the number they say. Always. But the biggest lie that we will get at the bar, I was drugged. A girl will call and say, I was drugged last night at the bar. And
What the fuck?
it happened
Or you
3 or
drank
4 times.
16 beers.
And it's like, really? Because you were in here and you seem like you're on crack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you were on every single guy. I was
Yeah.
and the one time we had a customer accuse the bartender of drugging her. First
Hell
of all,
yeah.
she was ugly. right? She's
Yeah.
not an attractive woman. This guy is
Smooth move by
married
her.
to
Good play.
a beautiful young lady. He
Good
has
play by the
5
ugly
kids
bit.
with her. And I was like,
shout out Bean.
what is
The
the
motive?
what was his end game? Where
Yeah.
was
Oh,
he
0.
Yeah.
There's no
going
motive.
with this by drugging you? I'm just curious, was he
Yeah.
gonna, try, like, he just drugged you
Is
To
he
get
gonna
you out of the
bring-
bar.
his day worse?
Are
To
you
make
gonna
his
bring
job tougher?
Yeah, is he gonna bring you over to babysit his 5 kids? Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the fuck?
He wanted you to be a shittier customer who could
Yeah.
explain what they
Yeah.
wanted and how to be
That's
thrown
what he
out.
needed.
That's what everyone
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
So you were
Nice.
drugged. It's not that you don't know how to control yourself and you drank too
No,
much
never
liquor
that.
and you got
Never
drunk
that.
and made a fool of yourself. You
No.
had to have been drugged.
Oh, of
That's
course.
what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Always
That's
the
the-
victim.
The biggest lie that
Yeah.
has been told.
That's
So,
fantastic.
Nice.
Not too
All right.
often, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I've
so-
been drugged a lot in my life.
Yep.
By
Yeah.
yourself. Did it to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Self-administered, but yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I woke up in the morning.
Classic
I didn't
Zanny
remember where
shower.
I was. Hashtag maybe
Classic
I was
Zanny
drugged.
shower. It's nice. All right, Tom. What's next?
All right. So maybe another big lie at the bar. But so we were talking to this week's episode, Dental Bill Lynne. Like we said before, great episode. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it now. Available on all platforms, streaming, YouTube, all that stuff, Twitter, TikTok,
Anywhere you
all
can
that
get it.
stuff. Anywhere you can get it, go listen to it. You'll love
On
it.
the HBO.
On the HBO.
Yeah. It's on
Bill-
Amazon Prime and Spectrum Live. And
yeah.
Spectrum Live.
It's on Tumblr.
Airing in movie
Ooh.
theaters near you. So
Prism.
Bill Lynne was telling a story about how he was in France and was with his mother and was jumped by 6 gypsies
Yeah.
and had to fight them off using Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Guys, what's a moment where you've been jumped, mugged, robbed, or just in a seedy situation? Bern, you start us off.
I have a pretty decent one. I went to Villanova, which, as everyone knows, kill or be killed. You know what I mean? Obviously, a really rough.
Nova is
environment.
for the
And,
streets.
yeah, you know, I mean, razor blade under the tongue every morning going to class just to make sure I didn't
How
get
you
jacked
survived.
Yeah.
Some
So,
people
rock
didn't have
that
a cleaning
Burberry.
lady.
up. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were at I was with my roommate at the time, freshman year. Gallagher decided to join like the student theater, right?
Uh-huh.
And just lied to them about
Oh,
all
he
his
fucking all
credentials.
the bitches.
He was like, "Oh yeah, I was Willie Loman, Death of a Salesman, and I was,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
the Catcher in the Rye, and the Catcher
Hell
in the
yeah.
Rye." Like he had no idea, but he was good enough. They let him in, and so
Yeah.
we were at the Manila Diner one night, which is down the street from probably like a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Out
It's
of the
like
city
Wayne's
from
famous
Villanova. It's like,
diner.
it's like
Yeah.
Wayne, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a freshman, right? I've been there for like 3 months. I'm hanging out with these kids because Gallagher's my roommate. It's like 12:30 on a Thursday night. I go outside to smoke a cigarette because, no one else is going to. So I was like, I'm just gonna go out there. And this dude, this kid comes up to me. He's 16, 17. And he's like, give me your wallet. He had like a steak knife. And like a steak knife from like a set you get. You know what I mean? Like a
Wow.
set you
Hell
get. where, like,
yeah.
someone
Yeah.
knocks on your door and is like, do you need 31 knives? And you're like, I absolutely do.
You hit you with the
32.
Cutco knives?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, I was like, so you're holding me up with like this, like they gave you 7. That's how you know they're worth nothing. But I was also like, I hopped in the car or whatever. And I was like, dude, I have $11 and 4 Parliament lights in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'll kill
you
you
still
if you
want-
touch my smokes.
do you still want to do this? And he
Yeah.
was like, nah. And then he just left. He just left.
Attaboy.
He just walked away.
He's like, I gotta find a better place to mug people.
Listen, I'm a Nova fan. My dad went there. I went there. I love their hoops team. But
The
to
Hawk
say
is
that
dead.
the mug situation, fucking Hawk is dead. But to say that it's a tough school is not. I just said to him, I don't know, I got $11 and 4 smokes, and he was like, yeah, you're good. And he just
Yeah.
rolled. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is the softest place that's ever existed in the entire world. Then I would go visit my girlfriend who went to Drexel, and I get off the train, and I'd be like, all right, no, you. You're trying to take my shoes. You want $6.
You were carrying
you
a
want
steak
whatever.
knife with you.
Yeah. It was like shitty serrated Like, bro, come on.
You took the
man.
knife from Outback that they used.
Do you
for the bread.
remember-
I
You guys-
told him what I had on me, and he went,
Yeah, we're good.
whatever. Yeah,
It's not
whatever.
juice ain't worth the squeeze. Do you guys remember I had bought a 31-piece knife kitchen set and then we used it to play darts? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Well, not darts, but listen, axe throwing is really big right now. Like, you were ahead of the
Yeah.
game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You were ahead of the curve.
Maybe
were on
that's
the
a
wave.
gimmick. Maybe, kitchen knife throwing. Add it to the axes. Who the hell knows? Come on, let's get weird. Nice. All right, good shit, Benoit. Tom, keep it moving.
Liam, give me a time where you were jumped, mugged, robbed, or in a seedy situation.
Back in 2005, I
Uh-oh.
was 20 years old, not even old enough to drink yet.
Yeah.
I went down to
Oh,
Went
fuck
down
this
to the
fucking
Phillies game.
story.
yeah.
Don't
went down-
say the name of the person
I
you were
won't.
with.
I won't.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
I already.
I know
Yeah,
you know.
chill,
I know
Matt.
you know.
We've
You
been-
I know
fucking
you know.
pussy.
I
You
know
got
you know.
mad over
I know
here.
you
Matt,
know.
Chill,
I know
Matt.
you know.
The fuck, yo.
Yeah.
All right.
Liam, we're gonna come back to you in 3, 2.
Fucking Steve.
A large group of friends and I decided to. Now this is 2005, 20 years old. This is
Hell yeah.
before the Phillies really got hot. So
Yeah.
remember, you used to be able to just walk up to the stadium,
Yep.
buy $12 tickets.
Yeah.
You're
The
in the
best.
house having a good
best.
time.
You
know?
can
Standing
move
room-
down right
standing room, and then
behind.
you just
Yeah.
find a seat. A
You
really
move
good
right
seat.
behind the dugout. No one
Yeah.
was there. Oh yeah,
Yeah, which were great times, I think. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You
I
just
agree.
go to the game anytime.
loved it.
And we took the R5 down because, then you can get as crazy as you want. Nobody's got to drive or anything.
Mm-hmm.
On the way
R5
down
being
to the
train
game.
station through North Wales, right? The one.
Yeah.
The regional
Okay.
rail.
Right.
Yeah. For
So
all-
we get on at North
Yes.
Wales. We get off at Fern Rock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
North
while
Philly.
the sun is out, Fern Rock is still
North
like-
Philly.
it's still it's North Philly. It's still a rough area,
Yeah.
but the sun's out. People are parking their cars and stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's still people going to and from work and everything.
And there is a police presence near like the depot.
Because it's a major hub. It's a major hub.
Because
The-
that's
the
where you
Broad Street
catch.
line starts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where you catch the subway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we stopped at Fern Rock to catch the subway. While we're waiting for the subway, we're like, let's walk to Broad Street. There's a bar there.
Yeah.
See if somebody will buy us 40s.
Hell yeah.
We walk down there, give them money. They give us 40s. Life is good. Get back on the train, go to the game. You know what I mean? We tailgate and everything. Everybody gets destroyed. On the way back, the sun is down now.
Yes. It's dark.
And we're like, let's go back to Fern Rock. And
Yes!
where we switch over, we'll walk to that bar again.
Yes.
You know?
Oh no.
So,
I'm
Oh
in.
no.
so me and just one other guy,
What
because
could
everyone
go
else,
wrong?
everyone else is like not dumb enough to be like, yeah, that's a terrible idea. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
just
no,
wait here
yeah.
for the train. Yeah. But me and another friend, we're all drunk. So we start walking. We get within like 2 blocks of the bar. Like you could taste the beer. You know what I mean? Like we were there. And all of a sudden I realized I'm walking alone. Like I look back and one guy's got a friend of mine like choked up and he's got a gun like in his rib cage. And then when I look forward back to the street, like, cause at that point I'm like shocked, So I look forward and there's another guy coming at me and he's got a gun in his waistband and he's pulling it up and showing me that he has it. And he's like, turn around, turn around, turn around.
Oh.
So I turn around and he puts that gun in my back and he's got my boy the same way. And after that, they pretty much tell us to empty our pockets and everything. They start walking us down to where the train tracks are. They're telling us like, don't ever come back to this neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. They take our phones, our wallets, fucking everything.
Not racist.
But at the end, I was like, can you please leave the train ticket and 1 cigarette? And he was nice enough. He left me the train ticket to get back and one cigarette.
Shout out that
So,
bull.
as far as
What a guy.
getting robbed
What
at
a guy.
gunpoint,
Sweetheart.
he did have
Yeah.
a heart. He did have enough of a heart to give me
Yeah. To
my
not
train
kill you?
ticket
Yo.
back and a cigarette.
But Liam, I remember you telling me the story before. Didn't you think like there was a time where like you thought these guys were just gonna off you, right?
Yeah, because
Like-
they were saying they're like, oh, we already shot 2 people today, blah blah blah.
It's
You know,
Peaky
like-
Blinders shit, right? Just like, all right, keep going to where
yeah.
no one is, and you're like, I can't really argue with this, but I
You're
don't
right.
feel great about it. And then Liam's like, if you're gonna kill me, at least leave me with a cigarette.
Well, no, by then we knew we were like okay, But
I get
he's
one
not
final
wrong.
smoke.
He's not wrong. About halfway there, all you're thinking in your head is you're like, dang,
Well,
man,
fucking
Fuck,
like
man.
this
This is it.
this is
This
And
for
the
the
dude-
2006 Philadelphia Phillies.
the
yeah,
dude
2000.
die for the
Yeah.
And to
2006
die with
Philadelphia
the, we
Phillies?
won't say the name of the person you were with, but to die with such a dumbass next to you. I mean, come on. Golly.
Like looking back, I know like they just wanted a quick, easy like score. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Scare the shit out of us, take our
Yeah.
money. It's a lot easier to look back now, all these years later, and know that like I was pretty much okay the whole time. But you're right, as it's happening, it's fucking terrifying.
But also
Good
too,
nothing.
I remember like afterwards, like because I remember like hearing when it happened and then seeing you and talking to you about it not long after, and you like we're talking about it and it like fucking puts hate in your heart. You know what I mean? Like this is one of the things like you want to go back down there and like bring a gun and do whatever kind of, because you're like, what the fuck, man? Like messing with your friends, you know what I mean? It's just like it does make you angry in a way, like to think about it, but. Also, it's like, oh God, Jesus Christ!
It's a
What the
horrible
hell?
decision to even do that in a neighborhood
Yeah.
that's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we kind of, in a way, we were kind of asking for it in their
Yeah.
neighborhood. You're in a bad neighborhood. Like
You should have known
now I
better.
would know
Yeah.
better, but
Not your
then-
fault, Liam.
Yeah.
I mean, were
You
you in
know
a
what?
bad
Fault.
situation?
You know what?
not
It's-
your fault.
It's not your fault that
Not
something
your
like
fault.
that happened, though.
It's
True.
very
very
similar-
true.
It's very similar to the conversation you're having with gypsies, like and Dental Bill getting jumped, where it was like they were 6 dudes, they were probably young. Their whole deal is they got to front super hard. They see you, they think you're an easy mark.
Yeah.
They'll do everything they can to scare you and make sure you never come back down there because that would be bad for them. But when all is said and done, were they gonna kill us? Like, I don't know. Maybe they have a good racket. Like he was saying, there were 6 guys, and they just started coming out of the woodwork around him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't speak this language, so I'm just talking to this one dude in front of me, being like, please back up. I don't want to sign your clipboard. I don't want to whatever. Would like in that scenario, like so Liam, that's like the hero scenario. Right, you were like, I don't know. They marched us down to a grave and then just let us go, and he gave me a cigarette. And Dental Bill's like, then I punched this dude in front of my mom. And you're like, okay, but at the time,
They didn't have. Did they have guns?
you were 17 and
Yeah.
he
A
was
little bit of a difference.
44.
The
And
difference
I don't
was
I don't
guns
quite
involved.
have dental. I don't quite have the dental
Well,
bill skills
Lee-
either.
Who
So
does?
Liam,
Apparently, no
wasn't-
one does.
Didn't this happen too?
My God,
Weren't-
that's
weren't
Jason Bourne.
weren't when they were walking you both of you, they were walking you at gunpoint. Didn't you walk by some guy who was like in the front of his house on the phone, and the guy saw you two and just turned around and was like, I don't see
Of
any.
course
Yeah,
he fucking
yeah,
would.
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I mean, there was when we walked by.
I live
like,
with
when
these
the sun,
animals.
when the sun was out, there was a bunch of them hanging out in one area, and as we were walking back, they were all still hanging out on the same stoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as you're going by, I mean, it's
They live in
Yeah.
our neighborhood.
It
man.
is.
You can't protect them against those
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
They ain't
Liam,
saying
you
shit, man.
forgot
Keep
to
your fucking mouth
mention
shut.
when you were walking back, you and your buddy you were with, you decided to hold hands.
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously,
I
You were
would-
also
I
wearing
would.
like these hoods on your head, and they were white. And yeah,
You happen
they
to
were
have
just-
some tiki torches with you for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah,
well,
they're
you
just
gotta
doing it.
see where you're going. I
Nice.
mean,
All right. Well, Liam, thank you for thanks for sharing that. Tom, go ahead, keep it going.
All right. Well, Steven, let's try to leave it to one time where you've been jumped, mugged, robbed, or in a seedy situation.
Oh man,
This could be a new segment. Seedy
Seedy
situations with Steve Cabot.
This could be- This could be a top 15. You know, like
Yeah.
if you really wanted it.
So I've told a bunch of stories on here, right? This one I was in between two. One is it's too deep. I look too fucking crazy. This one's not good, right? So I can't tell. It was too good. But there's another one that was again, I'm sticking with the jumping thing. Not really a mugging or a robbery. That never almost. There's one time in my life that's ever happened, but like other than that, it's not a thing that's happened to me. Where getting in jumped or tried to be jumped by a bunch of people has happened a lot. Go figure. But so I this one was actually in New Jersey. A bunch of North Wales guys. There was like 6, or actually there was like 8 of us. But there's a place in Jersey, Cherry Hill, Top Dog. So it was like I don't know if anybody right. So this one was wild. So we go over there, and there's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 total guys. But when I say 10 total, there's 5 guys I know are hitters. These guys are going to swing without questions asked. It doesn't matter who starts the fight. Those are your friends that you look over and you just know that these guys are immediately swinging. It doesn't make them any better, but you know who's with, right? How deep you are. So we get into this place, Top Dogs, and there's like the way the thing was built. There's like if you ever been there, the center dance floor sunk down like 5 feet. And there's almost like a gathering area for fucking scumbags to stand around the top while all the Brazules in the center dance around. And Jersey has the most lights. But so they're all dancing in the middle. I didn't say that. Somebody else said it. I'm repeating something else.
Sure.
Anyway, they're all down there. It's smeezed up. We're like, it's like 2007. Of course, bumping in, trying to get an issue happens at the end of this place in Jersey. I think the bars close at 4 or 3, right?
Maybe, but
I think going. Whatever. It's later, so it's like 3 o'clock. They have a hot dog stand outside this enormous place that's in whatever it is. I don't eat hot dogs, for the record, so I'm not in this fucking line, right? I'm running around trying to fuck anything that walks at this point because I'm fucking 24 years old and it's 3 in the morning and I'm wasted. I'm not trying. I'm wasted. I'm running around like an asshole, trying not to get beat up. And my friends who's in line for the hot dogs get into a confrontation with a guy. I'm not going to name names, but a couple of older guys than me too, and that all are tough guys. And one of them gets into it with another guy and takes a cigarette and flicks it dead off his fucking forehead, right? Ashes splatter, head flies up.
Wait, your guy did the flicking or your guy got flicked? Okay.
My guy did the flicking. Of course, my guy did the flicking.
Is it the one guy we all talk about?
No, not at all. This guy's a tough guy. This guy's ready to back up to flick off your fucking forehead. And the guy standing next to him is a savage. So they're ready for but we don't know that it's not these 2 dickheads and their girlfriends, right? It's the bouncer's brother. So now you got Top Dog holds like, I don't know, 2,000 people, dog. There's fucking 25 juice heads on the bouncy and on like a Friday, Saturday night. Like you're at like a major bar club. So many, right? And there's again, there's 5 guys I know will swing no matter what. And we'll throw 2 more in case they get a little wild. They might. 3 of them are not fighting. For sure.
A lot of times bouncers are looking to do something too.
We're in Jersey. Like, every one of them has the spiky hair, the super tan,
they're fucking gorillas. They're fucking Italian gorillas. Yeah.
That's all you see over there with the horse, right? So sometimes you got to dance with these fucking idiots to mess with the horse. So I don't, that's not right. I shouldn't say about Jersey girls are sweet people. I'm just saying horse.
Sluts.
So whatever. So we get out there, he flicks it off his head. The kid turns around and was like, blah, blah, blah. The bouncer starts getting it. One bouncer gets in my buddy's face, and my buddy spits in his face.
Oh, come on.
One bull got the cigarette off the forehead. The next one gets his face spit in.
Is there anything more disrespectful?
I would rather you kick me in the nuts, because to spit in my face, I'm either dying or I'm beating you up. I don't know what's happening, but there has to be an altercation.
There is nothing more disrespectful than this.
The open hand slap, the Will Smith slap.
Not even close to his bad.
The spit in the face is just like
I agree.
Nothing. That is like legit.
Spits his kid's face.
What if Will Smith went up there and just spit in his face? Like we'd all be like, "This is the most horrible thing that's ever happened."
Yeah.
So obviously, this kid knows his brother's the head bouncer, and he has all that backing. He ain't. This kid immediately swings. It's not like he's a little bitch. This kid immediately starts swinging, get into a scuffle here. I don't even know what's going on. I'm still trying to fuck one of the horses.
Right,
so I'm running around, figuring it out. Blah, blah, blah. I look over and I already see them scrapping. I was like, "Oh my god, it's already in progress." So there's no like me trying to be like, "Dog, are you doing the right thing?" Now he's got to jump into action, right? So we started to get, but we realized quickly that they're with the bouncers. So we try to get out to the parking lot. There's like 10 of us. We got out to the parking lot. Now we're kind of jogging because there's a mob of Jersey queers chasing us down. All the little fucking, who's that fucking sped with the top on the show? What's his name?
Paulie D.
Yeah, all these guys running down, right? All these Paulie D's running down. Jesus Christ. One of the guys who's nuts, older guy, picks up a fucking, I swear to God, this thing was a log, not a stick, not like a bat, picks up a fucking log. And he's like, I'm going to drill him. And I'm like, dude, you're going to kill one of them. He's like, shut the fuck up, keep swinging, or I'm going to beat you up. And this guy could. He was like an older guy to me. And I was like, check, right? So back to like the
one of your guys grabs the log.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Yes. Ready to like, I'm like, you're going to kill somebody. You can go to jail. He's like, shut the fuck up or you'll get hit with the log. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So back in position, right? Shit's breaking loose. People are flying over cars. They're all trying to punch us. Or one buddy gets kicked. Every time we jump in, we get hit. Like I'm trying to stop him. Now they're trying to get me. They're stopping them. It's a fucking fight to the cars. Get to
Yeah.
the cars. All these Jersey troopers show up. Our one buddy who spit in the face and flicked the cigarette jets into the wood like, I don't know, the Jersey Devil. I don't know if he thinks he's going to jump on cars and scare people at this point. We're in the fucking, like, where's he going? So he takes
Yeah.
off. The
You're in the
cops are like,
fucking
what's the
Pine
deal?
Barrens.
And this was a great line. It still lives in for me. Our buddy whose car he was driving, they pull up and they start, all the cops are like, "Pot, you guys have any drugs?" Blah, blah, blah. No, we're in a huge fight. So they break us, get all IDs, go to search cars and lift the one car up. And there's 2 baseball bats in the trunk, right? And the guy was like, "The fuck are these for?" And our buddy was like, "I play baseball." And he was like, "Friday night, you bring your baseball bats out?" He's like, no, I drive around with them in the trunk. And the guy was like, whatever. So the Jersey cops eventually were like, "Look, where's the guy who did this?" Yeah.
So the cops are there. They're looking for the
Yes.
dude that instigated
Yes.
it. And so
Yes.
what's going on?
So now they're doing this. They're trying to figure out who did the cigarette and the spitting and the starting of the fight. All the bouncers know because we already went over this. Most disrespectful shit ever. So they're trying to figure this. Now, a couple of these guys, I will say, did not win that. Did we all get punched a couple times? Yes. But there was a couple of those that got it. Fuck, I said that. A couple of those queers that got it bad. But so as the cops come, they're breaking us all down. They're looking through the IDs, blah, 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 blah. They tell us, don't come back to Jersey, this, that, the other thing, and pretty much just usher us off. So now our buddy's calling us, trying to instruct us to where he's at. Now, again, I said this is, I don't know, fucking 2007. You don't have like, if you had a Garmin, the Jones the size of a computer screen in your car, and no one had like a GPS on their cell phone, or the Razor just came out, dog. You could barely text people. Like, so we're trying to figure out where this asshole is in this back. He's like, "I'm in the woods." We're like, "What the fuck?" He's all drunk. Get him in. So that at the end of the story, we're driving back.
You
out of
found
Jersey,
him.
Found him. Pick him up.
How long did it take? Like a while?
20 minutes. We
All
find his
right.
drunk ass. There's only a couple of roads. You know what I mean? It's not like off the main road. We moved somewhere.
Okay.
So we find him, get him in the car, go back to Philly, get over there. We're on Roosevelt Boulevard and get T-boned in the car I'm in, right? Some bitch drills us. And I tell you, I am blacked out drunk. So now I fell asleep. We get drilled. The guy who was driving was decent. Our buddy who was in shotgun was decent. Hit towards the back where I was not sitting, luckily, right? Like crunched it in by me. Spin around, car can't be driven. So I get out the car. And the hottest Philly cop comes up and's like, "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" Immediately, I take a knee. I was like, I don't
Was
know
it a
if I'm
dude?
okay, right?
Was it a dude?
Yeah. Super hot dude.
The best looking dude. Immediately, I dropped to a knee. I was like, I'm hurt. She was like, "No, I just saw you, I think, trying to smoke weed over there. Was that a blunt in your hand?" I was like, "Fuck. No, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
So then eventually we got out of that. But for at a point, I felt like they were coming over the wall. There was 40 angry, juiced out Italian guys from Jersey sprinting us down as we tried to run as fast as we could to get away from the Buffalo in the car. And thank God the cops came. I mean, they were over the walls, cause it was over the walls. We were overrun.
You're just lucky their jeans were so tight.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
they didn't want to fuck their hair up and shit.
They're like, "I'm not running. My Air Force Ones ain't getting dirty because of this fucking Gungada."
Bro, I just got this blowout. I'm not fucking it up.
Yeah.
Tommy, you know how much I bench now? I'm like, "Ew, what the fuck is happening?"
So, real quick, for all those listening, we've just been joined by the dangerous one, Sean Douglas Day. Sean, how are you, man? Thanks for jumping on. Wanted to ask, we're discussing right now, have you ever been jumped, mugged, robbed, or in a seedy situation?
Yeah, let's skip the first ones, Rashawn. I want to hear seedy situation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the funny one is, I think, well, no, we'll go. It's kind of funny. Like, I used to work at Tex-Mex.
Are we going to America? I thought we was going. Okay.
This is so much better that we're like, okay, when was the time that Sean Day was ambushed the most? And he was like, I was working.
You know, the Mexican restaurant in North Wales.
Yeah. Okay.
The jungle.
Are brutal.
No, honestly, man, I told you, like, my career it went pretty smoothly. I mean, like, everything we did overseas, like, it was at nighttime. We had night vision. So, like, we were the ones ambushing people. So we never really got ambushed.
Fuck
But
yeah.
but like the shadiest moment where I thought I was gonna get like my ass beat bad was when I worked at Tex-Mex. So it was like just before Thanksgiving. So we had like a big Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah.
And we had a shit ton of fucking stuffing. Like I'm talking like a 5-gallon bucket of stuffing that was left over.
Oh.
And so me and Mike, do you know Mike Worthington? He like died.
Yeah, R.I.P. Worthless.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
That was
he
his
died.
nickname. That wasn't a mean thing.
That's a tough
Jesus
nickname.
Christ, that sounded awful. That's not what I meant to say. That was his fucking nickname. R.I.P.
Okay,
to my
so either way,
Jesus Christ.
okay. So you're with this guy, Sean. Keep going.
Yeah, so I don't know. We had this fucking brilliant idea to start fucking throwing stuffing like out the window at cars, like inside Tex-Mex.
How old
we're
are you at this point?
I don't know, probably like 14 years old.
Okay,
Like,
so this is when you were like you were cooking
Perfect
or
plan.
dishwashing at
Perfect
Tex-Mex. Yeah.
Yeah, I
okay.
was like basically just like the jack of all trades. I did everything. I was like,
yeah.
I was the janitor. I was a short order cook. I was a dishwasher. Like I was everything. But anyways, so we're doing that, and then like we clean up the kitchen, and we still have like probably like 4 gallons of fucking stuffing left. So we go, so we fucking take the whole bucket.
That sentence ever been said before?
Never. Nope.
Dude, it was
One of
about
one.
4 gallons.
One
of
of
Only in
stuffing
a
left.
only
4
only in a
gallons of
Mexican restaurant.
fucking stuffing.
Only in a Mexican restaurant.
So okay, so you got Sean, so you got 4 gallons of fucking stuffing left. There's a window. You're just hucking this stuffing out onto people going by. What's going down?
That hold on. By the way, Matt, there's only a sidewalk in between him and the road. So the window from this establishment, it's literally 3 feet to the road. Like you don't have to, you could just lob it out the window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. And people had no idea. There was like all these drunk people coming out. We're just like throwing at their fucking faces. They have no idea.
You're throwing it at pedestrians walking on the sidewalk.
You
Oh
goddamn
my,
right.
it's everyone. We're throwing it at everyone.
What
No,
else you
that's
do with all that
great.
stuffing?
Yeah.
I mean, what else you gonna do?
Fucking stuffing.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Bye.
I had like fucking 2 spoonfuls. I'm like, I'm good. I'm full. And so,
Yeah.
so if you've ever been to the North Penn Firehouse, behind
Yeah.
it, there's like this big building, and the building you can actually climb the roof because like it's not too far pitched, so you can climb the roof to get on top of the firehouse, North Penn Firehouse.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so we get on top of there, and we start throwing the fucking stuffing at people coming out of Mike's Tavern
Oh
like-
my god.
at like 1:30 in the morning,
Oh
and these
my god. You're fucking lawless.
and we're sitting there for like I don't know 20 minutes just throwing it, and then we picked the wrong dudes, and there's like these 2 big dudes come out. I mean, I mean, obviously they're like 21. We're like 14, at least
Yeah.
21 years old.
And
Yeah.
they're definitely not expecting to get hit by a bunch of stuffing.
Yeah.
You know, as they leave the bar, like they're baffled right now. They're
Yeah.
like, "Is that rosemary? What the fuck is happening here?"
So okay, so you're on top of the firehouse. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Mike's Tavern is definitely fucking a seat. If you want to talk seedy, it's a seedy sitch.
Whoa.
How
Well,
dare
no,
you?
dude. Now it's actually pretty nice. Back then it was like really bad. Like this
Yeah,
was
the
like
worst.
this was like before they like fixed it up. It was super bad. And so, anyways, these fucking 2 dudes, they like we throw it at them a few times, and they're like, "What the fuck? We're getting hit with stuffing." And then like we keep chucking it because they're like walking down the road. They're going like towards Tony's Pizza, and we
Yeah.
keep fucking chucking at them. They got hit probably like 20 times. Eventually, they look up and see us laughing.
Yeah,
And they're like, "You motherfuckers!" So, like, I guess these guys knew the area because they went immediately around to the back, like where the
Yeah.
carport's at, and we were fucking sliding down the side of the roof on our asses. Like, I was sliding down so fast that I got a hole in my pants, my ass, like my ass cheek was fucking hanging out because I'm like, I'm getting fucked. I'm getting
You're
the
like,
fuck
we're
out of here.
fucking, yeah, see ya.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. Well, Mike's fucking taking his good old fucking time. And at the same time, I get to the carport, these fucking 2 dudes find us, and they're fucking big. And they
Shit.
fucking jump up on the carport. The one dude jumped on the carport. He tried like punching me. He's all drunk, and I fucking ducked and pushed him off the top of the carport. I thought I fucking killed the guy because he fell off like it was like a loading, not a carport. It was like a loading dock type deal.
Okay,
For
yeah.
a truck. So it's probably like I don't know, at
So
least
like
5 feet.
4 or 5
feet.
feet. Yeah.
Yep.
And he falls on his fucking back.
Oh, like a flat like hit.
Yeah, and like I thought I fucking killed him. Then he gets back up, and his buddy just starts fucking like wailing on Mike.
Oh,
And this guy was big, and I tried getting him off, and I couldn't fucking do anything because this guy was huge. So I sprinted down to fucking Tex-Mex and got
Some more stuffing.
it was a bartender.
Your
It was
last
a
gallon
bartender.
of stuffing.
No, it
All
was
the
actually
salsa.
No, it
He's
was
a
a
salsa
bartender.
bath right now.
no. You guys probably know him. He was a wrestling coach. His daughter was Sherry.
Yeah, Frank.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Frankie.
It's like
Frankie.
yeah, so I called Frank up, and he went up there. We like sprinted back and fucking had to go save Mike. And then he like was beating the shit out of these 2 dudes, like little tiny Frank. But you ever see Frank? He's a wrestler.
Yeah,
So
yeah, well, Frankie.
he was beating the shit out of him. But I thought for sure like Mike was gonna fucking die, and like I couldn't fucking do anything. I was trying to get him off there. I could not fucking get this.
And
dude
the
off.
the other guy's just still kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Like his back's still he's still kind of hurt from falling off the loading dock.
Yeah, he was
his
pretty
lung
tiny.
is still punctured.
Yeah.
He actually died that night.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna want to run. You're gonna want to run this
Jesus.
through legal, Maddie, before
So-
publishing.
They
But-
just found him. They just found him covered
Just
in
be
stuffing. on the
Statue.
ground,
Yeah.
dead.
He
The detectives were like,
stuffing.
something
I don't
happened.
know. There was a lot of bread and a lot
and
of
a-
gravy,
and a
but
turkey must have
yeah.
fought back.
Yeah. Yeah, something. Where's
There
the
was an argument
cranberry
over the
sauce?
wishbone.
Yeah. So okay. So
You're
then,
cursed. No, you're
this guy
cursed.
just puts it out on your. So these guys are in their early 20s, and you're a 15-year-old, 14-year-old kid. That's a big difference in age, and
Yeah.
a big difference in maturity and size.
God damn
Like,
right.
you're
that's what
fucking
they
a
thought.
15-year-old up. You know what
That's
I
what they
mean?
thought.
Yeah.
Poor
And so-
fuckers.
Yeah. So, and then, but you went to the bar. You got the bartender who was a little, was able to
Well,
save you. But Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, I sprinted back. I bolted down that road, and Frankie's in good. Frankie was in good shape at the time. Like, he
Always
was.
is.
I mean, he was a really good wrestler,
Yeah, Frankie's tough.
and he came in and fucking. We sprint down the road. We had to save Mike, but by then it was like it's kind
Oh,
of
he
late.
had taken a shellacking probably at that point. Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't do anything. Like there was no weapons around. I was like
Gotta
trying to
go.
get him off
Pussy,
there.
you're a fucking kid. You're a
And
kid.
he threw me to fucking cross the parking lot. I'm like, I can't fucking do anything to this guy.
Yeah.
Might as well just fucking try to get a bartender or something.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
Live to
"God,
fight
I'm
another
stuffed,
day.
guys. Jesus.
Live to fight another day.
So, all right. Great shit, Sean. Thanks for that. All right. Who's next? Tom, go ahead. Tell us. You got
Well,
jumped.
I think Matt, we were I think it's a story involving me and you.
Yeah,
So
we alluded to it.
we had
earlier.
a tradition in Lansdale was
Tradition.
when it tradition, funny
Thank
enough.
you, guys.
We
Land of the
were
free, home of the brave.
when it would snow, first day it snowed, we would go throw snowballs at cars. It was just kind of like, hey guys, remember, oh, it's snowing.
Obviously.
We gotta go throw snowballs
Yep.
at cars.
It's what
Best.
humans
So,
do.
the first couple
good
years,
humans. It's what
I
good
guess-
humans do.
We were more like, I would say we were more
Cautious.
and a bit sneakier. We would go hide and throw from places where maybe we couldn't be seen or something like that. We would throw and then just get out of there and it'd be done. As like a couple years into it now, as snowball throwing veterans at cars, we became a little cockier and we were just like, we're gonna hit you, goat you out to come chase us, run to the neighborhood and hide where we knew every hiding spot in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and we were gonna run away so that you couldn't get us and laugh about it.
Yeah.
So we're out there and it's me, Matt, and our buddy. Should I name him? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Our
it's,
buddy-
his brother is banned from the show. He is not.
His
His
brother's
bro-
banned from the show.
Yeah, he big timed the show, and so fuck him. I mean, don't get him twisted. I love him, and I'll always love him. And me and him have been arrested 5 times together, and love the
Great stat.
love the shit out of him, right? But he
Very
big time.
specific stat.
He big
Very
timed
specific.
he
Very
big
specific.
timed the fucking show, and he big timed the show.
How
So
many times?
it only needs one time to big time.
Feel like
So-
you're big leaguing me, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
Number one.
He was supposed to be the
Need
he
him
was
big.
he was supposed to be the 4th ever guest on the show, and he big timed the show. So
Hmm.
that's what you get. But either way,
Either way,
Uh,
it's me,
we're-
Matt, and this kid Sean Munley. We're out there,
Sugar Sean Munley.
on the street, and we got our snowballs. We're ready to throw. Truck drives by. We throw the snowball at the truck. They slam on the brakes.
we nailed it. We
Nailed the
it.
truck. All of us.
Nailed it.
Now it's on. Now the adrenaline hits.
we're ready to go.
Yes.
All
This
right.
is what we wanted.
They hit
the
We wanted
brakes.
the whole time.
They open the door. The guy gets out the door. Fuck you, blah blah blah. You piece of shit. Blah, 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 yelling at us, right?
Uh-oh.
But he doesn't move. Gets back in
Yeah.
the car. Takes off, and we're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
pussy.
Yeah. Fuck
So,
you.
we're standing there, and I would say about maybe 15 20 minutes goes by, and we're at a spot. There's our street, there's an alley, and then there's the main street. We're at an intersection, but there's also an alley.
Yeah,
So-
we're at a 4-way intersection, and behind us there's an alley that cuts through.
Right. So we see someone coming up from one side. There's another guy coming from another side. And then somebody comes out of the alley and is now walking up. And my buddy Sean says, they're surrounding us. And I go, what are you talking about? Who's surrounding us? No, they're not. You know, next thing you know, I'm picked up, thrown on the ground. I'm starting to get kicked and hit. Sean picked up, thrown on the ground. They're starting to kick him, right? Matt comes over to hit the one dude. The one dude kicks Matt in the leg. And he starts hopping on one leg and they shove him over, right? And so I'm on the ground like, and you got to get this. I think two things. One, we were wearing a ton of snow gear. I had a jacket, a hoodie.
Yeah, you're
you
not
know
very
agile. And they picked me up.
Agility's not.
But it's not like
They picked us up and they threw us onto snow. They're not, you know what I mean?
Kind of like starfish.
And I think
there.
they were more trying to scare us and actually like physically like really hurt us, because were they kicking us? Sure. But it wasn't like, I don't know, maybe I was just covered up well, but they weren't like, they weren't going for the head.
Us.
They weren't like trying to kill us.
Yeah.
So we get like up and we're like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, they're like, you threw a snowball at our $40,000 truck, which back in like 1996
was $40,000.
Well, but
that's
now,
what he said.
Now $40,000.
You said
$40,000 truck back then is probably worth something like $80,000. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, what the fuck? Like, you threw a snowball at our $40,000 truck, and we're like, no, he didn't. It wasn't us. It was this fat kid Dwayne that lives down the street.
Yo, y'all snitched on Dwayne, the fat kid.
We snitched on fat Dwayne. We're like, fucking
Not
Dwayne,
right?
right? Not to my dumb ass is wearing this like neon green hat. You know what I mean?
Blending right in.
Recognizable
Right in.
shit ever.
Ocean Pacific snow gear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything
blends right in with the white background.
So they're like, get the fuck out of here before we beat the shit out of you even more, right? So then we start like walking away, like tails between our legs, and like we kind of all like come like we're like 5 steps away, and we like are all right there, and we're like, holy shit, right? And we start like cracking up. We start like hysterical laughing. And we just took off because it was like, if they hear us laughing, they're gonna.
Because they were like, "Shut the fuck up, you!" Like, we're gonna fucking they were not.
Get over here, kids.
And then we went to like we went to our
friends. You're not gonna believe what just fucking happened.
Yeah,
we got jumped.
And then we
had the greatest day Saturday
and
of all time.
Snowball throwing story ever.
And then we start like saying like, "Dude, we're gonna get my fucking cousin to beat that guy's." You know what I mean? Like, we start saying all that dumb shit. Yeah.
I just picture Dwayne eating like a bowl of Lucky Charms, watching a movie, and a knock at his door after they're done with you guys.
All confused why they're just
Dwayne live here.
Yeah.
You're Dwayne.
You Dwayne. You think it's funny? Throw snowballs at cars, motherfucker.
Nice. So
they're waterboarding him.
Nice. So shout out. Very good. Let's keep moving.
They're snowboarding, Tom.
Steve,
I think that would be even worse.
Steve, that reminds me of that story of you, me, and Chaz. We did that throwing snowballs, and that fucking dude found us and just like came up behind us and took our heads and just smashed them together. We didn't see
what? I know.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Go on.
Yeah.
Steve could tell it. I don't know.
Dog, there was not only did we throw it was first off, there was one spot where we used to throw them off the roof into cars so that we could like climb up on this like outback stairwell. There was also a spot by our house where we would stand behind the train track like barriers and whale cars and then run through this thing. But there was one where we used to go up on the roof, right? So we go up on the roof, and I don't know if Sean remembers this, but only you and Chaz. Yeah.
Steve, let me ask you this: how old were you guys?
At 10 to 12.
Okay, because I know that you fired a lot of things off your roof in your 20s, and like that joy
really
never went away. So
never.
I'm trying to trace it back. Of like Steve has found joy at throwing things at cars, really since the beginning of time.
We gotta realize too. Like me and Chaz. I don't know if Steve did this, but me and Chaz. We always put rocks inside the snowball.
Yes, they were wild. Yeah. You two were the wildest bulls. So we got to the top of this roof, and we would throw snowballs down. Right, so we had to go up this guy. He had like an apartment on the 3rd floor, but he had to go up the fire escape thing. Right, this like apartment complex. We get up there, and if you climbed on this guy's roof, all you had to do was step on the railing and jump to the top. Right, so we go to the roof. You had to jump like a 3-foot gap. That if you fucked up, you fell 4 stories. So you went 40 feet to the ground. Right,
that's a wrap.
And as a 10 to 12-year-old, like, this shit's serious. We would like walk up to the edge and look at it, laugh, back up, and of course do it like dipshits, right?
Yeah.
So we got over there. Now we're in an advantageous spot where people have to stop at one of the stoplights in the neighborhood. And when they stop at this stoplight, we can just light them up with snowballs and whatever. Sean and Chaz decide that they're going to whip their 12-year-old dicks out and piss off the roof on the parked cars. I'll never forget laughing harder than I've ever laughed in my life.
God.
Watching him and Chuck piss off the roof. And can you imagine if you're the bull driving your car? Obviously, you just see like shit hitting your car. It's snowing out. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
I didn't know it was raining.
What the fuck is there pissing from the roof?
It's a weird storm happening right now. Just
Why is it
pissing?
why is it raining antifreeze, melting all the snow here? Yeah. So then, okay, very good. So we're coming towards the top of time, though. So before we get out of here, I want a quick recommendation round. So real nice. So Liam, go ahead. What's your recommendation for this week?
So I just got AMC Plus for those new Walking Dead episodes. But I ended up watching. There's another show on there called Gangs of London, and I started watching that, and that's pretty good. The main character is the guy John from Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. He dies in
like,
season 4.
Yeah, he's
Spoiler
for anyone that's.
Luca Changretta.
Yeah,
but John
he's
was
like
awesome.
John Boy. He's one of the main characters, and it ended up being a really interesting show. And I almost forgot that I got AMC Plus for the new Walking Dead stuff because I've been watching that instead.
Would you say AMC Plus is worth it?
Yeah, it's only a couple bucks too. It's not that much.
All right, because
I think it was like $7 or something like that.
Because I got Paramount Plus, and there's one show on Paramount Plus, 1883, best show. It is so fucking good. But okay, nice. So Gangs of London on AMC Plus. Good shout, Lasmeeshma. Good shout. Benoit Podcasy, what do you got for a recommendation?
My recommendation, we missed a week, Yep. We had an incredible comic breakdown that I have now listened to. No shit, Liam. Like, I'm finishing up my third run through it.
Yeah.
Such a good breakdown. I have a ton of guests who I want to get on Liam's show going forward, and hopefully someday I'll be asked to be one as well.
Yeah.
But really good shit. I just want to throw it out to, we've literally only ever missed 1 week on the pop-in. Bob Miles. Bob Miles show was 2 weeks ago. He didn't get a pop-in. This dude is wild and hilarious.
Yeah.
And
great show.
It was a really, really good show. And it was one of the few,
yeah.
He was super fun. Everyone had a blast. Jana was great. J-Dub.
Yeah.
I miss him. Someday when he gets better at his job, he can get up to the varsity show. You know what I mean? But I do miss him.
He'll be on here. He'll be on here in 2 weeks.
Yes, or like 2 years, whatever. Someday he'll get here.
No, literally, he's on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
So
but also
yeah.
Bob Miles. We missed a little bit of Bob Miles. That was a fun episode.
Great show.
And he answered the question, do you prefer amusement parks versus water parks?
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, I'm a water park guy. Camel Beach is my place. Now,
Camel Beach? That
Camel
sounds
Beach.
familiar.
That's Lavelle's favorite place.
Something's whacking me right in the head about this one. I don't know what it is.
So go back.
Stroke my memory.
Listen go back and listen to the 44 Roundtable to find the Paul is dead secret message of this podcast. But sometimes people masturbate there in trench coats in the water. And
just to be clear, it's not Bob.
Not Bob.
No, not him. But my town is so small. This could be a 30 for 30. On this, and everyone for 100 years,
Wave pool whacker disgraced 44.
That was that time.
Wave pool whacker.
We used to be a nice, quiet town until the wave pool whacker showed up.
Just Camel Beach, it's just a bunch of waves in slow mo, slapping up against the side of the wall.
God.
You love what you love, Bern. You love what you love. I don't know what to say. So nice. So your recommendation is 2 things. It's the three really. The first ever episode of the Comic Perspectives podcast, which is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. And it's House of M is the show we did. Honestly, I fucking loved it. It was so entertaining. Really, really great. Liam did a great fucking job. So we have that. We have the Bob Miles episode.
Yes,
which
you
we
did, Liam. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Maddie, my favorite part of that whole Liam episode is you reacting to things in real time and Liam being like, "Yeah, dude, no, wait, this shit's crazy."
Yeah.
All right, okay, hold on. Here's how crazy this shit is. But it was a great first run because
Yeah.
you were like, I don't really know shit about Dick. You know, I know what I've seen in the movies, but I don't know the comics.
Yeah.
And it was a great story, doing House of M to be like, it pulls in so many things you do know about the characters from movies or cartoons or whatever.
Yeah.
And also a bunch of crazy shit you could have never even like speculated about.
Yeah. It was really the best one to start. And then FYI, next week we will be, next Tuesday, I should say this, next Tuesday will be episode 2 of the Comic Perspectives podcast will air next Tuesday. And it's the Secret War. Secret
Wars.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Secret Wars. No,
but
there's a Secret War.
Yeah.
Like the
it's Nick Fury's Secret War.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Dude, honestly, I really do, and I wanted Liam to know this, and we should shout it out. I get a bunch of feedback sent to me on this show. I'll tell you, one of the biggest feedbacks I get is how much people don't like Steve. But you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, he's not everyone's cup of tea, and if you're a fucking 7-year-old lady, you're not gonna like Steve.
He will never be fired.
Yeah.
He's
the best. He's just the best. I love him to death. But
and fuck those motherfuckers anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tonight we were recording and he was like, those I'm sorry, so the queers and I was
the greatest. Me and Liam, like, I think I saw Liam's face and he started cracking up. He was like, "Oh,
what is that out of fucking line?"
Yeah, it's great. But
he's like, "Oh shit, I can't say
so
that."
Good.
Oh,
so
either way.
either way. So I was saying,
So
I get a lot of feedback on this show, and I'll tell you, so many people reached out to me about Liam's the Comics Perspectives podcast, episode 1, House of M review. So many people reached out. Told me they loved the idea. They loved what they were doing. It was so fun to follow along and listen to and be told like this great story. So can't wait. We have more coming. Can't wait to get a couple more in the fucking books. But yeah, no, great job, Liam. Shout out to him. And the episode is available now for those that haven't checked it out. And even if you're not like a comic book person, but you like to hear a good fucking story, it was just a fucking great ride, you know?
Liam, I went back and started the Wastelanders again, and I forgot how weird that first like Old Man Star-Lord episode was.
Yeah, that one is
like,
a little crazy, but it's still entertaining. I thought.
Yeah, let's save that for post though. Let's save that for post.
All right.
Okay, awesome, thanks. And then so let's keep it moving then. Tom, what do you have for recommendation?
Well, I've been touching on it the last couple weeks. My recommendation for this weekend, Clash at the Castle. WWE pay-per-view over in England for the first time in, I want to say, 30 years?
Well,
20?
the SummerSlam 92, was that the last one?
That might be it. That might be 30 years ago.
That's 30 years.
Yeah.
So,
and it was when the British Bulldog beat Bret Hart for the Intercontinental
Caught him in that
Championship.
dumbass roll up.
Wembley.
Dude, I'll tell you, talk about a crowd pop. One of the biggest crowd pops you will ever see. Dude, British Bulldog's great. So
this weekend, the crowd is going to be insane. This is going to be Canadian Stampede. This is going to be the crazy. Drew McIntyre is going for the championship against Roman Reigns.
It's
the
in
Seth
Scotland,
Rollins,
right?
Matt Riddle feud is incredible. So what WWE is finally doing is they're finally putting some edge and some reality into their stuff. It's no longer this cartoonish BS. If you don't look it up on Twitter, the different interviews, the different things that they're doing, they're getting edgier. They're going back to that attitude era type of
Tommy, I saw your social media yesterday, and it looked like there was a pretty interesting, like, just legit parking lot fight. Like guys showing up to the gig.
They didn't even. There were no WWE cameras around. That was only put out there by
security
a
footage. Somebody found that.
But that's all a work, obviously.
Of course, but
wrestling
it's
fan.
But they're working
a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Triple
No
H,
you
put
it
know
out.
what you're fucking doing. Finally.
You guys, These
Hey,
guys,
guys,
can't get out of their cars.
I hate to
without
break it
wanting
to all of
murder
you.
each other.
I hate to break it to all of you. There's a sport where it actually is real. It's called UFC.
Right.
No, what? There is?
I've never heard of it.
Where's this
That's what I
coming
said.
from?
Was
Why
there a
have we
guy?
talked about this before?
Did a
I
guy named
agree.
Brock Lesnar fight in that? Did
Yeah.
he fight
He
in
did, and
that?
I lost. It was
Did
wild.
Cain Velasquez fight in that
Was he
too?
a UFC heavyweight champion?
What about Ronda Rousey? Was she ever there? But
Is
no.
it on-
Shit.
I'm aware
This
it's
just got
theater.
personal.
What-
Sean.
I'm aware it's theater.
But no, there. Tom sent me a clip the other day, and it was from a promo where Seth Rollins is talking to Matt Riddle, former UFC guy, or he wasn't UFC, but former MMA fighter, Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle's marriage just dissolved, and the dude's legit yelling at him. He's like, "You're a piece of shit. Your wife doesn't want to be near you. That's why you can't see your fucking kids." Like saying this shit to him
Jesus.
the dude went
on a hot mic. On
Yeah.
a mic, like the interview was
I'm sorry,
over.
my shit stalled. Did you say Matt Riddle was in the UFC?
or no, he was in the MMA.
Okay,
Yeah.
big difference, but I hear you.
Okay.
I was in the MMA. He was in MMA. Nobody. He's not like he was big.
Okay. Enough. Yeah. Either
I play
way.
Little League. I play Little League baseball. So
Yeah.
Just like Guerrero.
Either.
Steve, that
either
beard.
way.
I feel like you're trying to sell me a bean pie, man.
Dog,
That no
I'm
mustache.
Dog, I'm going over to
I love
fucking
it.
Ukraine.
You
and
got
I'm
any
fighting with
shawarma?
Dagestan.
That's
With
Yeah.
that's
Dagestan.
Khabib, right? That's Khabib.
Don't be
That's
mad,
a little
yeah.
Khabib love
Yeah.
right there.
I would
My
love a
brother.
falafel
My
if you
brother,
have one.
brother.
Either
my
way,
brother.
Clash at the Castle.
Gonna be big.
Check it out. It's gonna
Yeah.
be
Is it on
awesome.
Peacock?
Yeah.
It's on the
On the
cock.
cock.
On
Of
the
course
cock.
it is. Of course it
Nice.
is.
All right, Sean, what do you got for a recommendation?
You know, I was actually really surprised. I hate soccer. I grew up thinking they're homosexuals,
Sure.
and
Yo! That's not right, Sean. You
Steve,
can't do that.
wow, you've never heard someone use that word before?
Steve was like, "Wait, there's an alternative."
Yeah.
sorry.
Holy shit, I
Sorry.
never
Very
knew all these
sophisticated.
years.
folks more prone to getting AIDS and monkeypox.
Oh, okay. Those guys. Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Sean. So, okay. So,
that made it better.
so
Yeah,
you're
it did.
talking about soccer.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, Ted Lasso. It's actually a really
Oh,
good show.
Great show.
That show was-
Great
that
show.
show was so
Great
good.
show. Love that show. That was a
And I lo-
great show.
And I loved it too because I don't know. I've never played soccer and I remember I guess gym class. Never played it video games, so I never actually knew the rules. So I liked it. It actually came from the standpoint of for a person like me who had no idea about soccer. Actually, taught you the rules of soccer. So I feel like
Neither
I
does
actually
he.
know how.
He has no idea.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just
So
like,
I'm learning together. I'm like, this is awesome.
You
Yeah.
and Ted
Yeah.
are one and the same. Like Ted's learning, I'm learning. You know.
Yeah, and whoever whoever the coach is, what's his name? He's an awesome
Beard?
actor.
it's
Beard
Coach
face?
Beard. The guy
Beard
whose name is
face?
Coach Beard.
Whatever his name
you were
is.
talking about Jason Sudeikis.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason
yeah,
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an awesome actor. He's hilarious.
Oh,
So,
he's
Sean,
great in
just-
the show.
This is a really fun story. So NBC got the rights to the English Premier League in 2013, and they just hired Sudeikis to do a bunch of commercials for them. So there's a bunch of commercials where he plays this character of just an American dude going over there and taking
Yeah.
over a team. And they did a bunch of promos and commercials. And then 7 years later, they made a show that's actually really good, which is wild. It started as he's on SNL. NBC just got the rights to the English Premier League. He's a decent impression guy. We're just going to get him in here and do 3 or 4 commercials for it. As this dude, Ted Lasso, who has no idea what the sport's about and what the deal is. And then a couple of years later, they end up doing a show out of it that's pretty great and
he
well
capitalized on early YouTube media kind of thing too, because it was a YouTube clip. Because he's in an English Premier League interview, he's like, "We're gonna play all 4 quarters."
Yeah.
And they're like, "It's 2 halves. We played 2 halves." And
it started as NBC trying to get one of their better comedians to make a joke commercial about hey, we have soccer now. It's 2013. Do you guys care? Please care. We paid so much money for this. We need you to give a shit.
So, but no,
Premier League's the best.
And also my other I liked about it too is I'm learning all kinds of new insults too.
Oh,
All these cool English insults that are way cooler than American insults.
cunt too. They love how they throw around.
You bloody cunt.
Oh, they're great. They're great with cunt. They're the masters of cunt.
They
own
They
cunt.
make cunt cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sure did.
all right, cool.
Kings
Great.
of cunt.
great recommendation, Sean. Thank you for that.
Kings of cunt. Kings of
Who
cunt.
else do we need to do recommendation?
You.
Steve and Tom. Liam, you did yours, right? Okay.
Did.
So cool. All right, Steve, I'll go to you. Recommendation. What do you got? Tom, you did your recommendation.
Yes.
Listen, I'm done with these fucking corny recommendations because nobody cares what I do. I want more of a beef, right? I have a fucking issue. So
Okay.
I happen to be listening to the old Joe Rogan Experience for the fucking robot Zuckerberg. Fucking burger.
Oh, Mark
homo
Zuckerberg.
burger. This noodle. Now, I don't take offense to much, but I take offense to this. This fucking clown went on there and talked about how he wishes instead of playing tennis in high school, he wrestled. But he didn't, right? Hold on. He didn't. So now what he takes joy in is him and his buddies wrestle around, and he loves it and the intensity of it. There's like something primal about it, and he loves it. I was like, dog, if I ever see you, Zuckerberg, you fucking homo, I will body slam you for that nonsense representation of you being a wrestler in front of 20 million people on his audience. Fuck you, you dork. You Silicon Valley dork. Shut the fuck
who is
up.
he? DuPont? Is he
No,
the fox catcher? Is that what
right?
Dude, honestly,
Hold on. It said, I love the primal instinct and the intensity of it.
Yeah.
You sit your dumb ass down.
Honestly, dude, that was his
hold
whole.
on,
That's his
hold on.
whole team saying
Fucking
like,
Christ.
"You're going on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has a
Relate
huge
to him.
MMA. Say something like this, so you can get away
But why-
saying something."
I hear you. Why not go jujitsu? He did a little bit, but why throw wrestling in? Joe
I heard
didn't
he's going to be
wrestle.
at Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Go ahead,
Fucking
Bern.
nerd.
And I just have the other perspective. I should have been a 6'7" power forward in the NBA.
Oh,
And every day I
Yeah.
regret that. But I invite my friends out. They're all 5'9".
I'm
and
5'11".
With them on an 8-foot hoop, and that's how I make everything work. Like, get the fuck out of here. I wish when I was younger, I was a different person. Yeah, so does everybody.
100%. And I think the reason I take it personally,
dude.
the reason I take it personally is because the bullshit that goes behind the scenes that they don't see in that sport. And now because he's eating good and he's a millionaire and he wrestles around with his friends, I don't fucking know what the fuck that means. Shut the fuck up, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Who's up there?
Expensive.
But here's the thing about Zuckerberg. What's funny about him is I fucking hate him because I've been banned from Facebook like probably 20 times.
20?
Because of him.
Yes.
Oh, all the time. But I love him because I'm an investor, so I bought shares like I don't know, like 7 years ago, like whenever like it first came out, and like now it's metaverse, but I fucking love it. So it's like I have like this. I hate him because he always bans me, and he's a weird dude, but he's making me money. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't hate
him.
I'm torn.
So nice. Well, great recommendation there, Steve. Thanks for that. My recommendation. So I just came back from Mexico, and
you brought an Upar. Did you bring an Upar back? Or is that how you say it? Is that what you say?
You're saying an au pair?
That's fucking
you trying to say au pair?
Yeah, did you bring one of them? Did you bring one of them?
J-Mac?
No.
J-Mac?
Yeah.
Did you bring one?
No. I can't. No one can afford an au pair. Are you kidding me? No. I would just like to recommend moms pulling off a one-piece bathing suit.
Hell yeah.
Just saying.
I'll bang
There's
her in
still
that
some
one
out
piece.
there that make
Make it
a
look
one
good?
make a one piece look pretty fucking
That
good.
reminds
Make
you of
one piece look
Baywatch
pretty
and
fucking
Pam
good.
running.
Pretty fucking good.
Pam had to save your life in a one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those Baywatch broads were in a one piece. You
Yeah.
know?
Carmen
Oh.
Electra.
Carmen.
And I wasn't
Nice.
kicking them out of bed for eating crackers.
All right. So we're coming to the top of time.
Hold on. Before you leave, Matt, while you were there, did you get the
Look at
shits
that
from
face.
drinking the water? Did you get the shits from drinking the water?
No, the resort.
Congratulations.
The resort I had was very adamant about like we have tons of bottled water.
All right, move on. We're done.
It was an all inclusive. So it was like we have a mini fridge full of bottled water.
Yeah.
Please do not drink our water.
Stay away from the tap. Yeah.
That's where you fucked up, Matt. Matt, we're getting older now. We're getting fat. What you do is you drink the water from the tap. You get
And then
diarrhea.
Let that
20
parasite.
And then you can eat everything.
Parasite.
You can eat whatever you need.
I
You can
did.
eat buffets all day long and you lose weight. That's
Dude,
the
I don't know,
win-win.
man. I'd gone that route for my wedding last time I was in Mexico, and it was not pretty. So and it was not fun. So I don't
Sounds
know.
Shitty.
It's tough chasing a kid around all day when you're just spraying fucking brown water everywhere. So
You get the pens.
yeah, well, it depends on how bad you want to do it. But either way, let's keep it moving. Tom, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the Captain Jerkbeard faithful?
Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. I love you.
Very nice. Sean, anything you want to say to the Sean Douglas Day followers?
I didn't know it was my turn yet, but buy all the guns. Buy every single fucking gun you can get. Buy all of them.
Done.
And say fuck you, Biden.
Yeah, shove off Bidon. Very nice. Lasmeeshma, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, take Virginia Tech, take Temple. Duke is 0-8 against the spread the last 8 games. Cincinnati straight, Utah straight. Notre Dame's going to cover Saturday night.
Fuck yes, Lashmeesh. Betting is back.
What's the
Yeah.
line with Notre Dame?
17.5.
Yep.
Yep.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Notre Dame, number 5 Notre Dame is at number 2 Ohio State on Saturday night, and the
At
spread
the
is
Horseshoe.
17 and a hook.
At the Horseshoe.
It's 2 versus 5 preseason, and it's 17 and a hook in the Buckeye State.
Fuck
Yep.
me. Damn. All right. Very nice. Strong Sam, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I do. School's
Take your
back, so
time.
get out. School's back, so get out early. I realized I fucked up today. I left the house a little early on the way to work, and he got stuck behind a bus.
Mm.
Yeah.
And my short ride turned into the longest ride. So get up early and do the right thing, you fucking
Nice.
loser.
Very
Get
nice.
up early or sleep in late. You know, either you're
Yeah.
20 minutes either direction.
Don't fuck
from
with the
having to-
buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't hit it by 7:55, then just go back to bed till 8:15, man, because it's not gonna matter.
Nice.
Get up early. School's back, bitches.
And then Benoit, anything you want to say to the Benoit Podcasy faithful before we get out of here?
No, heading home to the Valley this weekend. Gonna watch the Andy Ohio State game in the backyard with Pulatsky and the Big Thrill, Nick Gill.
Love it. Fans of
Um,
the show, listeners of the show.
guests of the show,
Yeah.
just some peeps. No, I got nothing, dude. I'm tapped. I'm going home to the Valley this weekend. I'm hoping it's gonna be relaxing. It won't be,
Nope.
but you gotta check in every once in a while with the crew.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah,
that
that's what
ice
we're
cream
doing.
cake. Bring that
Amen.
ice cream cake.
Okay.
Amen.
Dude,
Amen. Nice.
Dairy Queen also, you know what? Hashtag recommendation. Dairy Queen right now has a Take 5 Blizzard. I haven't had Dairy Queen in probably like 10 years, but I drove by the other day and I was like, Take 5 Blizzard. I love a Take 5.
Love
I don't
Take
even
Five.
like candy. Pulled in there, ordered like the little kitty jam. You know what I mean? Like the little,
Sure,
like the little,
sure.
like
Yeah.
4-ounce kitty jam.
Yeah.
The
Pretty
Take 5
happy?
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, the Take 5 Blizzard is no joke.
Matt's always happy when he takes 5.
Oh, love it.
Two stroke.
Speaking of taking 5, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm
Thank
Matt
God.
Lavelle, accompanied today by Strong Sam Steve Cabot, Lashmize, Liam Reese, Captain Jerkbeard, Tom Lavelle, the Madman Sean Day, and Benoit Podcasy, Bern Podcasy. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the Twitter at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Thanks. See ya. All right, and we're out. Good shit. Good shit. Good stuff,
I'm
you
late
guys.
for a hot date with a dude.
You got,
Great
you got
pod.
10. You
With
got
the
10
dude.
minutes max, fellas. 10 minutes max. But what do we got? So, so let's talk. I want to talk more in post show about Liam's comic book show, and then what we got coming up next.
Same.
Go ahead, Lashmish, or go ahead, Vern.
No, Liam, I loved it. I think that's the perfect kind of like walkthrough, because it comes down to like, hey, here's the story we're talking about. Here's the canon that exists. Here's the 2 or 3 people who write this, and where do we find ourselves in the middle? And that's going to be super important in trying to explain kind of all of these MCU stories, because all of these MCU stories are little bits and pieces of other really like substantial MCU stories.
Yeah, I can't. I agree. I can't wait to do like the actual events that they've like named movies after and stuff to do, like Civil War, Age of Ultron.
But they're making
know.
that tougher. They're making that tougher to do because they're like incorporating really important elements into like like we were talking about, like you were saying about Doctor Strange, where you're like, well, yeah, obviously this Wanda walking the river, but this was actually the main thrust of like the House of M. But now it's just a part of a different story. You know what I think? If you want my $2 advice, is as comic readers, you're fine with people like coming back 3 years later because the solar anomaly lit up the planet their body was on. La 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 la. Superman's alive. You know what I mean? Like, and in movies, we have this really strict thing of like, they didn't set that up the last time. So how could they do that here right now? I think the flexibility of comic books is the best part about it.
Absolutely. They can go back like 100 times, 100 different ways.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of like, if I have like a, you know, like a beef with the MCU, I don't like how it's like, you know, like, okay, well, Tony Stark died. Now there's just no Iron Man forever, you know? Like, I don't understand why it can't be like a James Bond thing where it's the same character, another actor plays him. Like, everyone still gives Sean Connery his props for being an awesome James Bond. But then there's another James Bond.
Yeah. Well, there's 7 other James Bonds. It's fine. That's how I felt about when they were like, hey, listen, you know, for Black Panther, like T'Challa's gone. And I'm like, why? We had 7 Batmen between 1987 and like 1999. Like,
it's tough. It's tough because we're saying that, but those 2 characters were cast
a bunch of
like
very
so
perfectly.
White guys. Yeah. But I just
mean,
they were the way they were cast were like Tony Stark being played by Robert Downey Jr. I kind of get why they don't want to do it right away because that's going to be really hard for them to even
huge
to live up to that. You know,
any actor is going to have in the books you write the character. If you bring him back in the movies, you're like, well, at some point it's going to be someone who's not Robert Downey Jr. and they're going to have to be so good to not like to knock that little sensation in your brain out of being like, oh, Iron Man, MCU. He's eating fucking burger, you know, he's pounding Burger King at the end of the first movie. Hey, here's something funny. I showed the boy Shazam over the weekend.
Oh, the original one,
the first one.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
He watches it, right? He comes up to me, he's like, hey, are you August dad? And I was like, yeah. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Shazam. I'm friends with August. He's not here right now, but is it cool if I grab a Capri Sun? And he's like 5, and I was like, should we go to like an acting camp? Or he did it for an hour, the whole hour. He was like, is that August's iPad? Do you think he'd mind if I watched it? And I was like, dude, you're insane. But that idea of like Shazam of like, oh, I'm a kid, then I become a grown up and I'm cool. And then I could go back to a kid, and then all of my friends are also super badass. And it was like Shazam went from like superhero 197 to like 1B.
Yeah,
in a day. He was like, "Oh, that's the coolest thing I've ever." And also, that movie's super good for kids.
Yeah,
like
I know, and they just fucking pushed it back. They pushed back the sequel. Shazam. Yeah, dude. And then they're like, "Oh, well, they pushed Shazam 2 back." Well, what'd they push it back to? They pushed it back to fucking Aquaman's date, right? So now that gets pushed back too. Dude, DC, what a mess, dude.
God love
I can't wait.
God love their hearts.
I hope one day because their books are like, some of them are like insanely good, and that's why it's just such a shame to like watch what's happening with like Warner Brothers and all that stuff, because that DC Comics is every bit as good as Marvel is. You know what I mean? And it's just a shame. Yeah. Because they just can't get it together.
I was a DC guy growing up because I came up in the I liked Detective Comics. I liked Shadow of the Bat. I liked Justice League. When I was like 11, I would be breaking your balls, being like, "Oh, Marvel Comics. I don't know what's happening. Let's just go to space." You know, like
well, because 90s it was better. In the 90s, they were better for sure.
So much better.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get no argument from me there. I say it was around like 2004 when Marvel started to get their shit back together because they were trying to do that like Gen X shit with the people with the baggy pants and that new X-Men. Dude, it was so lame. It was so lame.
But Brian Michael Bendis launching the Ultimates, and they were doing Ultimate X-Men, they were doing Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. They did Ultimate Universe and all that stuff.
More came and launched, relaunched the Justice League in like 96 or 98, and it was like, all right, Matt.
All right, Matty boy.
Good shit tonight, guys.
Yeah, fuck you. I love you.
Love you guys.
I don't care.
Have a good night.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
See ya.
I'm sorry I said I meant to say queer.
It's all right. We have to cut that one too.